Good evening, Lake of the Ozarks, and welcome to Lake TV's coverage of live high school football. It's week 4 of the season, and we're in Eldon at Victor Field for what should be a great conference and district rivalry. Mike, we got Eldon and Osage.
Eldon comes in 3-0 again. They've had a tendency to start off very well and not do as well in conference play. Osage kind of took it on the chin last week from the great Blair Oaks program, and probably looking for a little bit of revenge here tonight against the Eldon Mustangs.
Yeah, and of course, implications in conference and district. And as you alluded to, Osage probably real eager to bounce back after their first loss of the season. So we'll talk about both teams through 3 weeks of the season. We'll visit with both head coaches, and Mike and I will give you a little history about not only the rivalry here, but really the recent history of the Eldon Mustangs and their fast starts and what's to come. That and a whole lot more on our Central Ozarks Medical Center pregame show.
At COMC, your health is our mission. Central Ozarks Medical Center offers 3 OBGYNs at the Osage Beach Clinic and 2 pediatricians with same-day appointments available. At COMC, our doors are open to everyone with 5 primary care locations conveniently located across the Ozarks. COMC for the best medical, dental, and behavioral health care. Get more info on how COMC can help you at centralozarks.org. COMC, where your health is our mission.
At Beck Wellness, we always say that if you don't make time for your wellness, you'll be forced to make time for your illness. Our goal is to make sure you're ready to enjoy all the lake has to offer, and more importantly, that you don't miss out on the moments that matter the most. From neuropathy, problems with your feet, hip, or back pain, and even a spinal tune-up. I'll make sure you're set to enjoy the moments that matter the most. I'm Dr. Mark Beck, inviting you to stop by for a consultation. But for now, back to this live high school game of the week on Lake TV.
Back here in Eldon on Lake TV's Game of the Week, William Holtz, Hall of Famer Mike Bissell. We're at Victor Field, and Mike, first we'll talk about the visiting Osage Indians. And after a 2-0 start a week ago, the game on Lake TV, it was Blair Oaks, the reigning and defending state champion, and they really put it on Osage.
Yeah, I felt that Osage really did some things very, very well. I talked to Coach Jolly not as extensively as you did, but he said a couple of drop passes, maybe that fumble comes back out of the way. But Blair Oaks is just so good. You look at School of the Osage, they're 2-1. They beat Bolivar 28-20 and Moberly 38-35. Both those teams have not won a game, but they're number 2 in district, and they've been outscored, and this is distorted by the Blair Oaks game. They've been outscored 72 to 97.
Yeah, and so for Osage, you start to look at those opponents, and you're like, wow, they got off to a fast start, but how good were those opponents? And tonight we're going to get a chance to really see what Osage does at 2-1. You got to talk about their quarterback, the senior Maverick Trusty, and of all the Indians that you like coming in, you got to love what the senior's been able to put together.
I've thought in the past couple of seasons, and this you have to think this through a little bit, that he sees the pass rush. The great quarterbacks, the good quarterbacks, they're aware of the pass rush, but their focus is the defensive backs and their receivers and what they're doing. I thought even against Blair Oaks, as good as they are defensively, they set those 4 linemen there, and they come after you. They'll blitz. They show different looks in the defensive backfield. I thought that he was 1, 2, 3 step balls out. I thought he looked so much more comfortable. Yeah, he's sensing the pass rush, but not seeing the pass rush and getting the ball away in a very timely fashion. I thought he looked a lot better than he has in the past 2 years.
Yeah, he completed a lot of really tough passes, and as you alluded to, Mike, when you say drop passes, 2 touchdowns, one early and one later in the game. And of course, you don't know if that would have changed the outcome, but it does give your quarterback confidence. And so tonight, I look for the Osage playmakers, the receivers, to help out their quarterback and to open up the passing game. You got to get that run game going, and they got 2 really capable backs. Brock Arrowwood, who leads them in rushing, and really their senior that is yet to bust onto the scene, Drake Williams.
Right. And I'm just a little curious to how the field here at Victor Field is natural grass. It may be the only time, I'm not sure, but it may be the only time that Osage plays on a natural surface. A lot of rain here in the last 24 hours. Really, I'm not making that up. It actually rained here in the last 24 hours. And I was out on the field very early, about 5 o'clock anyway. And it's thick. That grass is thick, so it's going to be a little bit different. And I think maybe you look at Eldon, they're a big team. Osage along the lines, not as big. That may be a bit of an advantage for Eldon, a little bit of an adjustment period for School of the Osage.
Yeah, no doubt. Not only the field, but being here in front of this big crowd as you hear it behind us getting loud at Victor Field. Anytime Eldon and Osage gets together, there's blood, good and bad blood, but there's bad blood between these 2 teams. If you talk about high school rivalries, it's about as good as it gets, right? I went to Eldon, and I was raised. You don't like Osage growing up.
Yeah, but these kids, I mean, these school districts are contiguous, and these kids know each other. They probably work at different places. You see several Eldon graduates on the School of the Osage coaching staff. Shannon Jolly's been a coach here, very successful coach here. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on there, no doubt.
Yeah, in rivalry history, they've played a lot of games, and this year, both back in Class 3, District 4, right. So such an important game tonight, because as you get through that 3rd and 4th week, Mike, into the middle of the season, essentially, it's playoffs, because every win and loss has such big indication of who you're going to play in that opening week, and if you get one of those top 2 seeds, a lot of times you already know your season's over. I hate to say it.
Yeah, that's usually the way it works. It doesn't work differently, that's for sure. But yeah, you get to play at home. That top seed, that guarantees you 3 games at home. I'm not sure if there's 8 teams in the district or not. The top seed may get a bye in that round. I don't know if that does you any good or not. It gives you an extra chance to heal up and maybe scout the other teams that are going to play in the second round. But still, it's an advantage to be the 1 seed.
Yeah, and so we'll keep an eye tonight, not just on this game, but we got a lot of great football being played around the lake area. But we'll take a commercial break now, but when we come back, I'll be on the field when I talked with Coach Shannon Jolly just a little bit ago.
Lake life starts here. At Lake Expo Real Estate, we know that buying or selling a lakefront property is more than just a transaction. It's the beginning of a new chapter. A chapter that we strive to make easy, from listing to closing. In a competitive market, we showcase your property to the masses online with LakeExpo.com, returning unmatched visibility. And if you're ready to buy that lake house, our team lives and breathes the lake lifestyle, so we know what this chapter is all about. At Lake Expo Real Estate, we believe in community, cherishing those lasting memories, and helping make your lake dream a reality. Check us out online to find lake properties. No logins, no distractions, just pure, unfiltered lake views and options. Lake Expo Real Estate, where we are ready to be a part of your next chapter.
Osage head coach Shannon Jolly, coach here at Eldon. They're 3-0. You guys 2-1, big time Tri-County and district matchup.
Yeah, just super excited about being over here. What a great atmosphere, good crowd, and throw a little rivalry in there with it, and it's going to be a good Friday night.
Of course, we've been here before, but what do you see about this year's 3-0 Eldon team that might be different than a season ago?
I just think they do a good job. I think they're more deliberate, more disciplined, and they've won 3 good games and scored a lot of points. So we're just like I said, we're trying to climb up to where they're at. Right now, they're at the top of our district, and that's where we want to be.
Coach, so obviously last week played a tough Blair Oaks team, and even though the score wasn't indicative, I thought you guys really played pretty well.
Yeah, we had some clips and some things in the film that were good, but obviously not good enough. I mean, it's too lopsided of a loss. I mean, we thought we had some things that we could take advantage of, and we didn't do a really good job of executing. And when you play a state championship team, it's kind of tough to overcome those. But, we're moving on. Here we are.
And so coming into this game, knowing what you've got with your team, what are you hoping they do great tonight to get a W?
I just hope maximum effort, man. A little bit of intensity, a little bit of violent play and exciting stuff. So hang on to the football and get it from the other side. So it's all good.
All right, Coach, you go a lot of places for road games, but it's always special when you get to come back to Eldon to Victor Field, isn't it?
It is for you, isn't it? You love it. Ain't you from Eldon?
Both of us have that time here in Eldon.
I'm blessed to be at any football field on Friday night. It don't matter where it's at, but I got a ton of great people here in Eldon that I love, still love, and this community was great to my wife and my kids and I when we were here, and so it's good to be here.
Coach, hey, good luck tonight in a big game. We'll talk to you.
You ready?
Yeah.
Let's go. Here we go. Let's go, Will.
Coach Jolly, as jazzed up as we've seen him, and you imagine tonight's a big one for the Osage Indians. The man that will always keep you guessing is Shannon Jolly, and he is fired up, right? Even after 2-1. I alluded to what you brought up earlier when I was talking with him, that I actually thought you guys looked pretty good. And he goes, no, you guys had some nice little highlights and clips of our team, but we got to do better than that. And he thinks this team can be better than that. And so tonight, in talking with him, he expects his team to play very, very sound and very, very clean, and he's demanding nothing less.
And you have to, because the season is so short. The regular season is 9 games, and then you step right into the playoffs in week 10. So you can't say, well, we got 2 or 3 weeks, or like if you're a Chiefs fan, you're saying, we're 0-2, we got another 15 games. It doesn't work that way in high school.
Sure, and now we'll get an opportunity as you look at this, like, hey, we've been in this almost exact situation before. Eldon 3-0 and Osage 2-1, always playing Blair Oaks week 3, right? We've been here in the last 5-6 years, and so when you look at, Mike, you've done a study, you kind of looked at, what'd you come up with as far as like, hey, Eldon has a track record of getting off to really fast starts headed into week 4?
Okay. Well, actually, I heard a quote that you get some information from Coach Griffin, and he said something that really stood out to me. He says, our record was not, talking about last year, our record was not indicative of the team we had. We play in an extremely difficult and talented conference, and you have to bring it every week. So I got to thinking about that. I agreed with that. Yeah. I agree with it. But is there some way mathematically I can prove that? So I looked at the past seasons for Eldon. In 24, they went 3-0, 0-6 in conference play. In 23, 2-1, 0-6 in conference. 22, 3-0, 0-6 in conference. In 21, 2-1, 1-5 in conference play. But that win was a 42-41 win over Versailles. And then in 20, that was a COVID year. They were 2-1 and 0-4. So I highlighted the 24 season. Look at Osage. Their non-conference teams that they played were combined 20-14. Osage was 2-1 against them. Hallsville 13-19, they were 1-2. Southern Boone County 23-12, they were 2-1 against those teams. Blair Oaks 24-12, 2-1, they lost to Lutheran North, the eventual Class 4 state champion. California played teams that were combined 25-12, they went 1-2. So Booneville 3-17 were the teams they played. They won all the games. You see the correlation there. The teams that had and the conference played well, even when it was like 24-12 and 23-12, that sort of thing. Still, the conference teams were 2-1, 2-1 against them. So yeah, you have to know that high school football is cyclical. Oh, the Blair Oaks, but they're different. But still, you can't sign free agents, you can't make trades, you don't draft. So you have to play the kids that are in your school system. So sometimes you're going to be up, sometimes you're going to be down. And that's just the way it is. So I think it's just the strength of schedule. Yes, there's no doubt that the conference is much stronger. than the schedule non-conference that Eldon has played in recent years.
Sure, and so it could be almost misleading when you see that, as you just expect Eldon to kind of run away with it. But as you alluded to, you start playing Osage and Southern Boone and Booneville, Blair Oaks especially. Those games are tougher, and so Coach Griffin said, like, hey, it was not indicative. I know we started 3-0 and lost those games, but golly, this Tri-County Conference, these teams, this district, it's tough. But for him, I think he feels like this year's 3-0 team has to be different from a season ago.
And I do, and again, the cyclical nature of high school football, I think the conference is actually top to bottom down a little bit. Osage we know is good. We've seen them. Blair Oaks is just in a different league. But I think the middle tier teams are down a little bit this year. So maybe Eldon could get a good run going here after tonight. We don't know how, obviously we don't know how tonight's going to turn out.
And I think that 3-6, like you said, is going to be more competitive this year than it has been in previous years. So we talked with Coach Jolly. We told you about Maverick Trusty and some running backs, but I wanted to touch on last week, even in a losing effort. How about Hunter Schreiman?
Great hands.
Yeah,
and catch the ball in traffic against different looks. And I like the kid who can read the defense as he's going out in the patterns, and he's obviously has got that part of the game down. Yeah,
and what I really loved was, sure, you're going to try to make a play 20, 30 yards down the field, but that particular play early in the game, and you've heard me already talk about it, but it's like 3rd and 22, and it was not a great throw by Maverick Trusty, and he knew he had to leave his feet. It had only been 3 or 4 yards. He made a great diving catch, and that's the effort that you want the younger kids on the sideline to see all situations. And so I love the senior Hunter Schreiman. We'll be looking for number 16 to hopefully make a visit to the end zone for his sake, because of all the things he did well last week. No one scored for Osage, and so I know he's eager. And he started the season with a touchdown reception in both of the first 2 games, so he loves to score, and Maverick Trusty loves to find him. So we'll take a commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about the home team, the 3-0 Eldon Mustangs under the direction of Nick Griffin.
It all started in Missouri.
These hills have heard our language.
This identity is more than just a history lesson.
We are a nation that stands very strong because of the people that came before us.
We're Wajaji, and the Wajajis come from Missouri.
The Dog Days of Summer Savings Event and the Subaru A Lot to Love event are going on now at Van Subaru. Save more with every mile at Kansas City's Subaru destination. Get 0% APR for 60 months when you upgrade to a new 2025 Subaru Crosstrek or a new 2025 Subaru Outback with 0 down payment needed and no payments for 60 days. Shop now at vansubaru.com, where you save more with every mile.
During this chapter of life, we are really taking the time to enjoy the little things.
So it was important to have our final wishes pre-planned so our family wouldn't be burdened later on.
Hedges Scott Millard made it simple, but thorough. They provided us with different options right here in the comfort of our home.
We are so glad that we planned ahead. Now a whole lot more of this, a little of this, all with the peace of mind we wanted.
At Hedges Scott Millard, we believe that every day is a gift, and so is every life. Take time to enjoy it.
Competing on the field requires hard work.
It also requires effort and making good choices, which carries over off the field.
Like good choices behind the wheel of your car, did you know that a driver is 20 times more likely to be in a serious accident if texting and driving?
Last year alone, 104 people were killed in Missouri from distracted driving. So keep leading the statistics, but don't become one.
Buckle up, phones down.
This Drive Safe, Boat Safe reminder brought to you by Price and Randall, injury attorneys.
Back on Lake TV here in Eldon, and it's the Eldon Mustangs and Osage Indians, just about 15 minutes away from kickoff, Mike. And as we get ready, you look at, we told you about Osage, but man, this Eldon team, second-year head coach Nick Griffin. Of course, we know what happened last year. We talked about that, but you gotta love starting 3-0 in any season, and so that is again the Eldon Mustangs this year.
Yeah, you can't win 4 until you win 3, right?
That's right.
So he's 3-0 again this year. I like Coach Griffin. He's got a very impressive resume. He's been a head coach at a smaller school, but he's been an assistant coach in some big-time programs in Southwest Missouri. And I tell you what, you play some Southwest Missouri teams, you get in the tall weeds in a hurry, man. There's some competition down there. So he knows what he wants. They're a run-first type team. They're going to try to grind you out. I think they've got size along the line against Osage. Again, we're playing on a natural surface. I think you're going to watch them pound the ball here tonight.
Yeah, coming into tonight, they've averaged over 240 yards a game on the ground, Mike. And really, as I look back at Eldon the last 10 years, especially the last few years, you mentioned it, man, with the string of great quarterbacks and great running backs they had. I remember years where they averaged 300 to 400 yards per game on the ground. And so that's what the Eldon Mustang faithful is accustomed to. And although they love to run the football, I'll tell you what, they are really impressed with first-year quarterback Drew Hines. He's only a junior, but talking with the coach and some of the people in the stands, they're like, man, number one, Drew, he has been so good. I expect him to have a big game. And so 3 games into his varsity career as starting quarterback, he's won over Eldon.
I got to watching him during warm-ups, and he's one of those athletes that just kind of glides. You know, it seems effortless. Throws a nice ball. He really does. He throws a nice ball. He's playing catch, and just he's one of those guys. He was throwing from 35, sometimes 40 yards, and the ball's always right here. You know, there's not some kid, chasing around trying to catch an errant throw. So, yeah, it's going to be fun to see how he develops as the season progresses as a starting quarterback.
Indeed. Now we'll direct our attention down to the field as we break for tonight's national anthem.
Please rise, remove your hats, and face the flag for the playing of our national anthem.
Commercial break and be right back with head coach of the Eldon Mustangs, Nick Griffin.
It's time for a new home, and your solution is Ozark Homes under the water tower in Laurie. Your home is and should be your safe place. At Ozark Homes, we take your dream and make it a reality while staying within your budget. With real estate and construction prices at an all-time high, let Ozark Homes stretch your dollar. We have many customizable options, including kitchens, bathrooms, fireplaces. We even offer a second-level option. Quotes are always free, so give us a call or stop by today. Ozark Homes, making homeowners' dreams a reality for over 30 years.
At New Spring Wellness Center, we understand how hectic life can be and the stress that comes with it. We also understand that your health often gets forgotten about. Whether it's addiction, weight loss, or lack of energy, New Spring Wellness Center offers natural services you won't find other places. From our vitamin IV drips to our laser hair removal and everything else. Naturally better health is our focus at New Spring Wellness Center in Osage Beach. Call now to schedule your free consultation.
Nick Griffin and the 3-0 Mustangs at home for a big game against Osage.
Yeah, should be a good one. It's gonna be a packed house. The atmosphere is gonna be awesome. This is what football is all about. I'm excited for our kids.
Coach, you guys start 3-0, so tell us how you guys have gotten to that point and some of the great things that have happened through 3 weeks.
Yeah, we've played some good football. You know, we've been really resilient. Our kids have never quit, never gave up, and have finished games. Not saying it's been perfect, but they knew what they needed to do to get a win, and they've done that. You know, we've been 3-0 in the past, you know, so this is a big stepping stone for our program right here.
For you guys tonight to beat Osage and go to 4-0, what do you guys have to do?
We just have to be disciplined on both sides of the ball, do the little things right. You know, we have to worry about Eldon. That's all we got to do.
I got to ask, because I went to Eldon until I was a junior, and we were raised to not like Osage, right? There's a rivalry. And so what's the culture like now between Eldon and Osage, and are the kids more fired up to play Osage?
Oh, definitely. It hasn't changed at all. It's still the same. You know, they don't like each other during this week. It's a rivalry, and the kids have been – this one's been circled since last year, so –
Sure. All right, my last question. Coach, you got a lot of great athletes this year, but maybe one you want to key in on who's stood out, not just on the stat sheet, but maybe in practice. Who would that be for this year's Eldon Mustangs?
So Drew Hines, our quarterback, you know, this is his first year playing varsity quarterback, and, you know, in our system and our offense, I put a lot of pressure on him, and he's risen to the occasion. I'm really proud of him, and he's got a lot of room to grow still.
Coach Griffin, thanks so much for your time. Hey, good luck tonight.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Nick Griffin. That's Nick Griffin for the Eldon Mustangs, and he highlighted Drew Hines, the junior quarterback. We talked to him, and man, when I looked at this Eldon program, had some really good quarterbacks that across the state you may not know, but when I look at guys like, man, what about Hunter Hess? I mean, 4-year starter, now at Columbia College, tearing it up on the diamond, and they feel like this junior quarterback can be pretty special.
Yeah, I go back to Wyatt Greenwald, who was outstanding at running that offense. He could bootleg it. He could throw it when they did throw the ball back in that period of time. Yeah, they had some outstanding players. I was actually looking at some school state records, and it reminds me of a game that I have one regret, and that was the 72-69 game that Eldon hosted Owensville here at this home field for Eldon. Isaiah Merida, I have a hard time saying that because Gabriella's from Merida, spelled the same, so I have trouble with that. Scored 50 points in that game, had 7 rushing touchdowns, and my one regret is I didn't save my score sheet from that. What a mess that thing was. It was just blacked out almost, 72-69. And they had another shootout in the district championship as well, too.
You said that was against Owensville?
Owensville Dutchman, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, between Eldon and Owensville over the last, 15 years, there's been some crazy matchups, and not just regular season where they play, normally high scoring, but you said that district. I remember a few years ago they played in district, and that might have actually been the game. What was the couple years ago for Eldon? They had a game early against Owensville, and the receiver and quarterback both set single-game records. Hunter Hess and one of his receivers, single-game records.
I'm not sure about that one. Now, Hunter had, but that was against Versailles. He did have 5 touchdowns in the game. That's the 42nd highest total in state history. Could have been Devin Hardy. I'm not sure.
Gotcha. Very well could have been, but I just remember those numbers, and for Eldon and Osage, everything's still in front of them. Both teams with winning records. And, of course, when we tell you that Eldon likes to run the balls, we should tell you Drayton DeLong and Colin Brisbane. They're really their two-headed monster in the backfield. And DeLong is good, but Brisbane's really the workhorse. He looks like an athlete. I was watching him in pregame, Mike, on the field, and I was like, I'm glad I don't have to go try to tackle that guy.
And he's the only one who's caught passes this year as well, too. I think he has 6 receptions. Again, if you're looking for a passing game, you're not going to see it from Eldon tonight unless they get behind early and have to kind of get out of what they like to do best, and that's run the football.
Very good. So as we get ready and conclude our pregame show, we direct our attention down to midfield for our captains and coin toss.
Any problems, let me know. Talk to me. I'll talk to you if I have a problem. All right, stay clean, stay fair, good sportsmanship, even in the bench, all night. All right? Yes, sir. All right. Now, we're going to, let's see, you're the visiting team. I have a heads and a tails. I want you to call it in the air. I want you to repeat what he said. Okay? In the air. Heads. And the tails. You'd like to defer? You would like to defer. Stay right where you are. You would like to receive the ball. Which goes compared to defend. You want to kick that away or defend that? You want to kick that away. Right? Just turn right here next to me. Stay right here. Good enough. Straight line, good enough. Okay, guys. Go ahead and break it.
Visiting 2-1 Osage Indians. And so as we conclude tonight's Central Ozarks Medical Center pregame show, we thank you for tuning in to Lake TV. We take this commercial break and come right back with tonight's kickoff.
It's the Lake Expo app, the lake's trusted news source, the boating lifestyle, the hottest lakefront real estate, where to go, what to see, and what to do at the lake. It's the Lake Expo app. Download it today.
And we're back on Lake TV for tonight's game of the week. I'm William Holtz, joined by the Hall of Famer Mike Bissell from Victor Field. And Mike Eldon, they win the toss, they defer, and so Osage will see their offense first starting and kicking here for the Eldon Mustangs. It is Hayden Dugan, and so far this season, he's been pretty sharp, 10 of 11 on PATs. That's pretty impressive at the high school level, Mike. Two great kickers tonight, it looks like.
Oh, no doubt about it. We'll try to keep you updated on Versailles hosting El Dorado Springs tonight. El Dorado 2-1, Versailles looking for their first win. Camdenton's up against it. They're 0-3, playing the Elias Crusaders. Not a good matchup for the Lakers early on here.
Yeah, that is a tall task for any team, as we're set from Victor Field, and Dugan's kick is up and on its way, fielded at about the 14-yard line by Drake Williams, and he loses his footing. And as you said, Mike, we'll have to keep an eye on the conditions. This might be the only time Osage sees this in natural surface all season long, and first play of the night, you see somebody lose their footing.
Hallsville would be the one exception, but I'm not sure if Osage plays at Hallsville or it's down at Osage.
Yeah, we have that game
we do?
in a couple of weeks for Osage homecoming game.
Just tell me when the meetings are. I'll show up. Don't worry.
Love it. Love it. Yeah, well, that's going to be a fun one, of course. Now, Osage with it at their own 31-yard line. It's going to be a handoff to Drake Williams. Pretty good seal on the edge for Eldon. Nothing doing, and he'll be dropped after a modest gain. Going to bring up 2nd down and 9.
Cody Brown on the tackle there. Good pursuit down the line of scrimmage. The defensive end set the edge very well and held it to a 1-yard gain. Are you surprised that Williams hasn't been a little more productive so far this year? We know how talented he is.
Well, if you recall, last week, he didn't get the ball a ton. Now we got a penalty flag as Schreiman appeared to move early. And so, yeah, I have been, Mike, but it didn't seem like, last week Arrowwood was their preferred back. And then those quick hitters, they continually were going to Schreiman and Ethan Wall. And so it just hasn't seemed like Drake Williams has been as featured in Shannon Jolly's offense. I also want to mention this is the first season in Shannon Jolly's second stint back with Osage that he has taken over the play calling duties.
Really?
And so that's something to keep an eye on. Now they're backed up, 2nd and 15. Here's Maverick Trusty. He's got Schreiman going to take a shot. Single coverage. He has him. He's there inside the 40 all the way down to the 33-yard line. That's good for 51 yards. A Beck Wellness Center first down, and just like that, Osage all the way down to the 33-yard line. Mike, and I think I was incorrect on the yardage.
I got 39 for it. That's still a big chunk, obviously. Maverick has just looked so comfortable in the pocket. They worked on this throw in warm-ups. And you talk about setting somebody up. Last week, Osage ran that out, and in single coverage on Schreiman out here, they ran the out and up, and it was open.
So big play there. Now Arrowwood gets the carry on his first touch, and he'll run into a wall of Mustangs at the 31, bringing up 2nd down and about 7 or 8.
Arrowwood does such a good job of reading the blocks and adjusting. That was designed to go off left tackle. He saw that was shut down pretty well by the defensive end on that end, Chase Atkinson, and adjusted back into the middle and got 3 out of it.
So solid second effort and almost a false start. Now here's looking for Colt Butler and overshoots him. Really a good play design. It was the play action and the tight end who initially blocks, right? That he breaks free, and he was there, just overshot his target to Maverick Trusty, bringing up 3rd down.
Yeah, Trusty had to break out of the pocket and was running to his right. It's hard to put touch on the ball when you're running to the sideline. And if that ball had just a little bit of air under it, that probably would have been a touchdown.
Yeah, Butler's an interesting player for Osage. Coming into last week, right, we had seen he led them in rushing. He had a pretty good game receiving the week before, and only a sophomore. Be interesting to see what kind of impact he has tonight. So 3rd down and 8 now. Trusty out of the gun, looking to the right side.
Nice.
Finds Schreiman, a perfect ball down to the 18-yard line. A Beck Wellness Center 1st down, and on 3rd and 8, Maverick Trusty looks as good as you can. What a throw.
Something that jumps out at me right off the bat here.
First down, Osage.
Osage didn't run any of these plays last week against Blair Oaks. They were saving them. I mean, you have to know in the back of your mind that you're not going to beat the Falcons. They're showing a lot of stuff here that they did not do last week.
Drake Williams now gets the carry, and they key in on him pretty quickly. Modest gain, and Osage inside the Price and Randall Injury Attorneys red zone. They've got it 2nd down now at the 17-yard line as an Eldon Mustang is shaken up. So we'll take a quick commercial break in the early going from Eldon. We are scoreless.
Hey everybody, it's Daryl Cunningham with Slumberland Furniture at the Lake. Football season's back. What's that mean for you? You've got to have a comfy place to sit, whether it's Sundays, Mondays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, whatever day you like to watch football, we've got a chair that's going to make it comfortable. All at a great price and interest-free financing. And don't forget, we deliver the entire lake area. Come see us at Slumberland Furniture, where we're bringing happy home.
Back here in Eldon at Victor Field for Lake TV's Game of the Week. We do have a injured Mustang on the field, and as he makes his way off, so for Osage, Mike,
hey everybody,
they've come
it's
right
Daryl Cunningham
down the field, and it's been a couple of passing plays. First, the 30-plus yarder from Trusty to Schreiman, and then on 3rd and 8, a really good call, and he hits Schreiman again. So Osage now, they're in business. 2nd down and 9 at the Eldon 18-yard line, Mike.
Yeah, it was Cody Brown that was shaken up. He may have just got the wind knocked out of him. He was walking off under his own power.
He looks pretty distraught, though. So I don't know if he just wants to be on the field right now, right, which would be my guess. But nonetheless, inside 10 minutes, early going, it's 2nd down and 9. Osage has it inside Eldon territory. It's going to be a pitch out, looking for Butler. Colt Butler's dragged down at the 21-yard line. We're going to get a penalty flag for a horse collar. It was a late flag, but they're going to get Chase Atkinson, Mike, on a horse collar, I believe.
Yeah, it's a shame. He played that extremely well, got upfield and set the edge there. But you obviously can't do that. I don't know, man. He grabbed him by the shoulder outside. It wasn't like he got his hand.
No, that was just a miss if they do call it. You're right. It was the shoulder pad. That's a good tackle.
He had outside the shoulder pad. That's perfectly legal.
Oh, they're going to actually get Osage for a hold. So the officials knew what they were doing. It was Will who was.
Well,
but that did appear, right? And then with the late flag, I was thinking he must have convinced himself you got to call that. So it'll be Osage. And the penalties actually declined after the 3-yard loss, 4-yard loss, and I like that by Coach Griffin. Let's bring up 3rd and 14 and not give them 2 chances.
That's absolutely the right call there. Who was the runner on that play from that reverse?
That was Colt Butler,
Got it.
number 2.
Got
And the tackle on the play, which was a great play, was Chase Atkinson, the senior. And, man, he closed quickly. So 3rd down and 14.
Single coverage to the outside.
Going that way for Schreiman, a little bit behind him. He does bring it in. It's about a 7 or 8 yard, maybe 9-yard gain, Mike, up to about the 14-yard line. Going to bring up 3rd down or 4th down and manageable, and that's the 3rd catch of the night for Hunter Schreiman already.
Yeah, do you take the field goal here? I mean, that's about a 30-yarder. I tell you what, it's going to be hard to have that single coverage without help over the top. You hate to take somebody out of the box. Both these teams are basically running teams, but obviously Osage is capable of throwing the ball effectively.
So 4th and 5, into the flat. Schreiman once again has it at the 5-yard line. It's a Beck Wellness Center 1st down, and this is the Hunter Schreiman show, courtesy of Maverick Trusty. First series, 4 catches, and Osage now set up with it 1st and goal at the 6-yard line. I mean, there's so much separation. It was a great call. They bunched up the 2 receivers. One went in, and Schreiman goes out, and another strike from his quarterback.
Yeah, miscommunication out of your zone there. You've got to say, how you're going to switch that.
Arrowwood. The carry, and he's going nowhere on first down. He is stuffed.
Eldon's got the maroon numbers on the black uniforms and a little hard to pick up. I see the kid at 52 was that tackle. That's Joe Reed. Nice play there.
So on 2nd and goal now from the 7-yard line. Trusty out of the gun, looking to his left, going to be looking for Schreiman, who's there and hauls it in for the score. Hunter Schreiman, the explanation point on this drive is 5th catch, and Osage strikes first. It's a 7-yard touchdown pass from Maverick Trusty, and that drive really started and ended with Hunter Schreiman.
Well, 76 yards for Schreiman, and the rest of the team -1.
Wow. Pretty special, and now you'll get a look at Brady Clark, who coming into tonight a perfect 9 for 9 on PATs and 3 for 3 on field goals, including a 40-yarder that won the game for him as time expired in week 2. So the extra point's good, and your score from Victor Field, it's Osage 7 and the Mustangs 0.
Life truly is all about memories, but more importantly, those we create those memories with. And at Hedges Scott Millard Funeral Homes, our staff focuses on the families we serve.
Maybe you wouldn't necessarily know where to start. Josh showed up from the beginning to the end. He did amazing. I would absolutely recommend them to everybody I know.
At Hedges Scott Millard, we understand it's the little things that make a big difference for the families we serve.
What's up, Lake of the Ozarks? It's your guy, William Holtz, inviting you to tune in to our next LOZ featured doc series. I'm at the 20.5-mile marker to meet up with the Drickey family. They got an incredible boat collection, some custom features on a mega dock at the lake you don't want to miss.
And back as Osage set to kick off after their score. They lead 7-0 over Eldon.
Yeah, Schreiman caught the long pass right off the bat. So you've got single coverage. You've got him split out to the wide side of the field. That's a tough assignment. So that defensive back had to play a little bit deeper, give more cushion, and then everything underneath was open then, and they really took advantage of it.
And well executed, as Clark's kick is a good one into the end zone for a touchback. So Eldon starts with a 1st and 10 at their own 20 or 25? 20, correct?
20 in high school, yeah.
All these rules changes between high school, college, and pro. And when you love it, I think it's almost a disadvantage because you're constantly inundated with rules changes. And for me, I'm like, yeah, they changed the challenge flag where they got the head coach doesn't have to throw it. It comes in from the, oh wait, that's not high school. They don't challenge in high school. So now
you challenge it, just nobody's paying attention to you.
So we'll get a look at Drew Hines in the Eldon offense on their first series, starting from their own 20. Here's Hines out of the gun. Inside a handoff, pretty good running, still on his feet, and big gainer. We'll give him 8 on the first down carry, and that is Brisbane, the junior, gets the first carry.
Well, you talk about somebody who keeps their feet moving. I mean, he pitter-patter, and then was able to bounce it back outside a little bit. They kept the feet moving the entire time. That was an impressive run.
Yeah, 8-yarder. Great start to the drive. 2nd 2, anything's on the table. One of our favorite drives in football. 2nd 1, or play. 2nd 1 and 2nd 2. The handoff to DeLong, trying to get the edge. Nice little cutback. He's close, and I think he's got real close.
Just a little short, just a little short. Nice little jump step there to keep the play alive.
They're going to give it to him. Back
oh, really? Okay.
Center, first down. And I think what I've noticed, too, is from where we sit, the marker on the sidelines about like a 1/4 of a yard, actually further back than it appears here.
Okay.
Because, yeah, the ball is not quite where it looked like the marker was. But it is a Beck Wellness Center first down. And for Eldon, 2 runs, 2 different backs, and they have a fresh set of downs with it on what's turning out to be a beautiful night here in Eldon.
A little warm earlier, but we're good now.
So out of the shotgun now is Hines. He's going to call his own number. Patient run, and he falls forward for a nice gain. We'll give him 4, bring up 2nd down and 6.
This is Eldon football. They want to grind it out. They've got a big and not, I mean, fairly athletic-looking offensive line. You look at Thatcher Brown, a sophomore, 6'4", 245. Man, he looks like he's going to be a good one.
Yeah, no doubt. Impressive specimen physically down there, and line so big at any level. And at high school, man, when you get those bigs up front, defensively and offensively, sometimes, man, you just put those schools into a miserable situation. Now for Osage, they're facing 2nd and 6. That was a backwards lateral for Osage, or Eldon, I believe. Caught, and now we got a penalty flag. But lots going on this play as Brisbane got the pitch. I believe it was backwards, but we do have a penalty flag at about the 33-yard line, a couple of them actually.
Actually, I think it's going to be a bad block there of some sort. I was thinking at first that was defended, but actually they're going to call that pass interference. So, yeah. Nice.
Couple of them.
Yeah, but kind of late with the flag there for the second one. So the spot foul will be from the 33, and they're looking over the options. That block should be a 10-yarder, I would think. It would take it back to the 23. This is something that Eldon, what are we doing here, guys? We've got to mark the penalty off here eventually. They're talking to Coach Jolly. He's looking at his options. The play would have lost a yard. It would be 3rd and 6. No, they'll take the penalty, though. So the first penalty against the Mustangs and their offense, William, that's just not something they can afford. They're not going to get huge chunks. It doesn't mean that somebody won't break a 15-yarder here or more.
Yeah, but you're right. When you like to pound the rock, getting behind the sticks really changes how effective your offense can be. Here's Brisbane now in motion. They're going to fake it to him and give it to DeLong, who lowers the boom on a would-be tackler for Osage. She has a nice gain, getting some of that penalty yardage and then some back. 3rd down and 8 upcoming.
A lot of misdirection. They start the man in motion and fake the jet sweep. DeLong very patient. Got a good block. Man, a kid that we've really liked for several years for Eldon, number 68, James Phillips, 6 foot, 270 and a senior.
Yeah, another specimen. As you said, Eldon is big up front. They've got great line defensively and offensively, and for them, 3rd and 8. See what they roll out. We've yet to see quarterback Drew Hines put it in the air.
Trips left.
Clean pocket, really nice protection up front by this line. Now throws coming back, trying to make a play, and just couldn't connect with his target. Keon Dinwiddie, his intended target, falls incomplete, bringing up 4th down and 8 from their own 31-yard line.
Great effort there by Dinwiddie on the sideline. And again, we like the ball that he throws. Hines looks good. Just got too close to the sideline, and the time ran out on him. Really very patient, didn't want to force it. Just gave it a little bit too much room on the sideline.
Drew Hines, also the punter for the Mustangs. Nice job bringing that down, and gets a beautiful high arching kick down to the 33, where it'll be fair caught by Hunter Schreiman. But really nice. It only goes for about 35 yards, but flips field positions, and great ball, allowing the defense to get down there and cover it.
Well, I mean, looked to me like he had a very short set. He wasn't very far behind the line of scrimmage. It was a bit of a pass that was off. He had to gather it in and got rid of it. That was a very effective punt.
So now for Osage, it'll be their second offensive series, and they have it at the 33-yard line, 1st and 10. We'll see if they don't go to someone different. Last series, Hunter Schreiman. 5 catches, 70-plus yards, and they'll put it on the ground. Here's Arrowwood, who breaks off and rolls over a defender before finally being pushed down at the 44-yard line. It's a Beck Wellness Center 1st down, and it is an 11-yard punishing run by Brock Arrowwood.
Yeah, he was stopped cold. Eldon really defended that pretty well. I think a little bit of a hold there on Osage twice, but Arrowwood just kept it rolling to the outside.
He says, if I'm going to wear number 22, I'm going to act like Derrick Henry.
There you go.
We'll give it back to Arrowwood. Nice little stutter step, and still on his feet. Wow, an 8-yard gain. And again, that one had a shot to be stopped right about the line of scrimmage, Mike.
And that was actually these 2 runs, the only really positive runs in that scoring drive to open this ball game. 76 yards for Schreiman, and the rest of the team was -1, but Arrowwood's got 19 in the first 2 carries of this possession.
So 2nd down and short now. Another good down to take a shot. They're going to hand it to Drake Williams. He cuts back and look out. Drake Williams running over Eldon defenders and all the way down to the 25-yard line. It's a Beck Wellness Center first down, and it's Drake Williams putting the Indians into Eldon territory.
Yeah, good to see him with something positive. We've seen him bottled up the last 2 weeks, but nice cutback here. Coach Griffin's not going to be real happy with his kids on that one. They over-pursued to the outside, then missed a few tackles inside.
So 22-yard Beck Wellness Center first down for Drake Williams, and this time they go back to Arrowwood. Nice little stutter step, and he rolls forward for a nice gain of a few on first down, but big chunk plays here on the ground this drive, Mike. After all pass, you've got 11, 8, 22, those big chunk runs. Osage giving Eldon a little taste of their own medicine on the ground here.
Yeah, it was a good stop by Hammond there, number 3, Cale Hammond, sophomore.
So second down and 7. Just outside the red zone. Clean pocket. Taking a shot. Touchdown, Hunter Schreiman, the second for tonight from 21 yards out, and I believe it's going to be defensive pass interference or illegal contact. It'll stand on a beautiful ball from the quarterback Maverick Trusty, and that is the 6th catch on the night, the 2nd touchdown for Hunter Schreiman. And on the season, Mike, that's touchdown catch number 4 for Schreiman.
Boy, he's having a night. They ran a crossing pattern underneath, and so that meant that Schreiman was going to get single coverage deep. He just beat his man to the post, and beautifully thrown ball from Trusty.
For the extra point, Dubs will hold. Clark, the kick is good. So with 3:19 left in the opening quarter, it's Osage 14 and Eldon 0.
At Beck Wellness, we always say that if you don't make time for your wellness, you'll be forced to make time for your illness. Our goal is to make sure you're ready to enjoy all the lake has to offer, and more importantly, that you don't miss out on the moments that matter the most. From neuropathy, problems with your feet, hip, or back pain, and even a spinal tune-up. I'll make sure you're set to enjoy the moments that matter the most. I'm Dr. Mark Beck, inviting you to stop by for a consultation. But for now, back to this live high school game of the week on Lake TV.
It's the Lake Expo app, the lake's trusted news source, the boating lifestyle, the hottest lakefront real estate, where to go, what to see, and what to do at the lake. It's the Lake Expo app. Download it today. Back here on Lake TV, 14-0 here in the early going as Osage out in front early. And currently 14-0 on our first score update. It's Helias over Camdenton with 4 minutes left in the first quarter there.
And Schreiman now, how about having a quarter, son? 98 yards, 2 touchdowns on 6 receptions, and we still got 3:19 left in the first.
The kick for Clark. It's another good one, fielded at about the 10-yard line with some room. Drake Williams in there couldn't make a stop, and a solid return before being taken down at the 32-yard line. Nice run back for Keon Dinwiddie. Drained along with the return, and in on the stop.
Murphy.
Yeah, Eric Murphy comes up and really probably saves a touchdown.
He did. It looked like he had a really good seam there to the left. It was well blocked. He was able to beat the gunner on the outside. Yeah, Murphy saved the touchdown. Well, been a lot more than he got out of it, but still.
All righty, so with 3:10 remaining in the first quarter, Eldon in desperate need of an extended drive here. First down, gonna be a little read option. Hines calls his own number, and he's got first down yardage across midfield, down across the 45. It's a Beck Wellness Center first down, and that's a big-time play when Eldon really needed some momentum or something positive, Mike.
Yeah, 24 yards on the carry there. The left tackle, Isaiah Abbott, really sealed that edge, set the edge out there. And Hines, like I said, he's one of those athletes. It looks like he's just kind of gliding along, really not going all that fast, but he shows something there getting to the outside.
So down to the 42, a really great drive starter for the Mustangs into Osage territory. Here's Hines now out of the shotgun. Gonna hand it off to his back. DeLong now cuts back, and that's actually Number 13, Colin Brisbane with the carry, and he'll be limited on the first down carry. We'll give him 3.
Yeah, but he did a good job getting those 3 yards, as that was defended very well by the School of the Osage Indians. Quinn Butler, I believe, was out there. No, I checked at number 12. I think it was Ethan Wall, the linebacker, was able to get out there and really turn that play back inside.
Yeah, those are really cool black jerseys for the Mustangs, but they can be tough to spot those numbers on.
And my eyesight's not what it used to be either.
So 2nd down and 7. Hines now goes back to the ground.
Brisbane, nice carry.
Yeah, across the 35 down to the 34. Going to bring up 3rd down and about 3, and that's really Eldon's recipe, right? Is those 3rd down and shorts, positive yards on 1st and 2nd down, and they like to wear down the defense. And for them, that's still in play, down 14-0 in the first quarter. So this was a great answer up to this point in time, and now the Mustangs, they've got to get themselves a fresh set of downs on these next 2 plays.
Yeah, the Mustangs were moving the ball in the first possession, but again, those penalties, they're just not that kind of offense that can overcome that 10-yard penalty, put you in 2nd or 3rd and long.
So 3rd and short. Hines gonna hand it to his ball carrier. Nothing doing. What a one-armed effort. And Jaden Wilkes cleans it up, but first man there, 52, Nicholas Joyner, and he had himself a career night in a losing effort a week ago. 9 tackles, 3 tackles for a loss and a QB sack against the #1 team, and he keeps it going with that strong grip, one arm. And on 4th down and short, Eldon's forced to go.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt, down 14-0 here in the first quarter, but I guess they don't do the tearaway jerseys anymore because, man, he had a fistful of jersey and was not letting go.
So on 4th down and 1, inside, a minute to go. Here's Hines out of the gun. Brisbane in motion. Going to be a little option. They're going to throw it out. DeLong has first down yardage, and he's going to have it to the 30-yard line. A Beck Wellness Center first down, and I really like that play call from the Eldon Mustangs as we get a look at the Ozark Homes fan cam.
Yeah, you get, you look at the fan cam, and I'll talk about the play. Yeah, you've got the guy in the jet sweep. You fake the handoff to him. That's going to freeze the linebackers a little bit, and then you've got the zone read working off left tackle. That was well executed.
Yeah, a nice play. I imagine we'll see again tonight for Eldon. Now, 10 seconds left in the first quarter. They don't have to snap it, but they will. First down, Hines. Looking to take a shot. Pocket starts to collapse. He's taking a shot to the end zone. That's going to be intercepted. Colt Butler. The receiver fell down. The ball hung up in the air, and Colt Butler goes up and gets it. And that's how our first quarter concludes. It's our first turnover on this Drew Hines pass. He had time, threw across his body. It just sailed a little bit. The receiver fell down, and Colt Butler does the rest. So to start our second quarter, Osage will have it with a 14-point lead.
What's like and follow?
Phones are very distracting. Which is why Missouri now has a law against holding a phone while driving.
Dude, what are you doing? You can't hold your phone while driving.
Yeah, that's illegal.
Buckle up.
Back here on Lake TV, where the Indians add insult to injury as far as Eldon's concerned. Eldon, first down and 10, their best field position tonight. They had it all the way down, just outside the 20-yard line, and ended up being an interception. And the receiver fell down. He loved giving the receiver a shot, but once he falls, Mike, I mean, that's about as easy as a pick as Colt Butler will get.
Yeah, taking a shot there for the touchdown. I thought, actually, Hines obviously knows his capabilities better than I do, but I thought he had a chance to run that ball too and be successful. First down run for Osage.
Give him about 3 or 4 yards. Brock Arrowwood, and this a different offensive set for Osage. Go the big package here, bunch everything up. A quick inside handoff to Arrowwood, and it's the exact opposite of what Osage's defense solved from, Eldon's defense solved from the Indians the entire first quarter. It was the arm of Maverick Trusty, and now they're back out of the shotgun. They're going to pitch it out to Arrowwood. Cuts back, and he'll be buried at the line of scrimmage. Nice job by Eldon's defense.
Kian Dinwiddie.
Yeah, Dinwiddie puts his helmet in there, makes the stop. Going to bring up 3rd down and 6.
We do have a score from Versailles. They're hosting El Dorado Springs tonight. 6-0. So Versailles hanging in there. They've really struggled here early on in the season.
Yeah, and that's a score we'll keep you guys posted on. And already, Elias doubling up that lead. They lead 28-0 over Camdenton in that one.
Elias is good this year. They're good every year.
So 10:48 left in the second. Here's Trusty taking a shot in and out of Butler's hand. A little high, a little behind him. So on 3rd down and 7, Eldon's defense gets the stand they needed, and that'll bring up a punt situation for Osage, the first of the night.
What's he thinking not throwing it to Schreiman? No, I'm just kidding. No, you got to spread the ball around a little bit, keep the defense honest. But, yeah, he looked like he was open, just a little high and outside.
Yeah, but, I mean, you're right. If you're Hunter Schreiman, you're thinking, what have I done wrong to lose your trust, man? But, yeah, those two have a special connection. But I'm telling you, Mike, that number 2, Colt Butler, he made the pick. He's only a sophomore. And you've yet to see it, Osage faithful that might be watching. But mark my words, number 2, Colt Butler, the sophomore, is going to be a gem for you Indian fans to watch over the next 2.5 seasons. So Maverick Trusty, the punt, and that's a good one. No one back for Eldon, and that takes a wonderful Osage roll. That's what happens when you put the right spin on it, all the way down to the 24-yard line. It's a 52-yard punt for Maverick Trusty, and Eldon will have it 1st and 10 at their own 26.
So 14-0, school of the Osage. And you'd have to say that Eldon's made 2 mistakes. The first one was a holding call on a drive that was starting off looking very successful, and then the pick. So let's see if they can get through this without any mistakes and try to get themselves back in this game.
So with 10:32, early going, and really, that was huge. You just alluded to it. Only 14, but man, had Osage come down and scored there, that's debilitating, right? The crowd's quiet, the kids start to get down, but Eldon, they've got it, and I thought they were onto something that last series, moving the football. So we'll see what they do here from the 24. Hines, low snap, does a nice job of picking it up and making something out of nothing. He does lose a yard, but that could have been much worse, Mike. Good presence by Drew Hines to pick it up and not lose a ton.
Yeah, and Brisbane helped him out a lot, too. He gets a little bit of a block here. That could have been a 5 or 6 yard loss easily. Again, a mistake and puts you in 2nd and long.
Yeah, and as you said last time, Mike, it's one thing for Osage, right? You get back to 2nd, 12, 2nd, and 13 when you can throw it the way you can. But when your Gravies, 3, 4, 5 yard runs, yeah, it just mathematically makes it tough. So now they spread it. We've got 4 wide receivers. Well, I guess 3 wide receivers. There's a little read option. Hines going to keep it, tries to get the edge. Not a lot, but does have 3 or 4 yards. And really, that's a nice play defensively by Robert Dubbs because he was in no man's land. If he gets outside, he could be gone. So he came in at such an angle that kind of forced Hines to cut back in.
You know, a lot of people think that, you know, on defense, you just fly around the ball. No. You have defensive assignments. You have gap assignments. You try to stay on the outside shoulder that particular play to force him back into the middle where there's help, and it was executed very well by Osage.
And now Eldon going to burn a timeout, facing a crucial 3rd down and 6 with 9:09 left in our 2nd quarter. You're watching exclusive coverage of Lake Area High School football on Lake TV. back here on Lake TV. And Mike, before we see this 3rd down and 6, I want to give a shout out to the Lake TV crew. It's been a crazy week. Had production truck issues, not even starting, but we called our good buddy at Juan Towing, and they got us here, and they're going to get us back. And Andrew Evans, Tom Kitchen, just appreciate our guys and all the stress and all the work they've done this week to make sure we have live high school football for you tonight right here. And another low snap fielded by Hines. He shovel pass kind of out to the flat. Nice little play on 3rd down and long. So it'll be a real close to, and I think he's got a Beck Wellness Center 1st down, Mike.
Oh, it's going to be close. Hammond's, I believe, on that catch.
Another sophomore, and we'll wait for the spot. They're going to say it's a Beck Wellness Center 1st down.
I had my doubts there for a second. First completion of the night for Hines.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really weird-looking delivery, right? But what a job on the play by Hammond, because there was nothing there. There was some blockers. He did a nice job of weaving through the defense and picks up a big 1st down. Eldon now, fresh set. They've got it at the 34. Inside a handoff, trying to bounce outside, and swung back is Brisbane. Nice job. And on the play, Jaden Wilkes, first guy there, and helping him out was Drake Williams. And Jaden Wilkes, I apologize. I've not said his name as much as it deserves to be said. There's so many plays where he gets the tackle, and we're talking about away from the ball or the ball carrier. But number 25 for Osage, Mike, he came in tonight leading them in tackles. He's averaging 13 tackles per game this year.
And not a big kid at 185. Both their linebackers are actually a little on the short side, but that doesn't mean they can't play. They're good.
100%. Now 7:50 left in the 1st quarter. 2nd down and 9. Hammond in motion. Uh-oh, weird developing play. And look out. Ethan Wall blows it up. It was a misdirection. They tried to fake the handoff like they were going to do a screen to the same side they faked the run to. It was Hammond who was open in the flat for about a half second.
And then that closed down in a big hurry.
Look at Ethan Wall.
Great pursuit. Just missed the block, and I don't think he was going anywhere anyway. There was a lot of help over there.
Yeah, that play only works if your guy in the flat, and it was Dinwiddie and Ethan Wall, a tall task for anyone, especially for a 190-pound wide receiver. So 3rd down and 14 now, or longer, for Eldon from their own 30-yard line. Hines, pocket closes. They're going for a screen and having to leave his feet.
Well, that's a little late.
Yeah,
he was down as soon as he caught the ball.
You should have, yeah, you would have thought surely DeLong made the diving catch, loses a couple, but there's a opportunity right there. Okay, it was deflected by a defender at the line. Really good play. It was either 51 or 52 for Osage, either Brody Price or Nicholas Joyner, who totally affected that play. Wow, great job. And now into punt once again is Hines. Gets away a good one. Schreiman fields it at his own 39-yard line. Look out across midfield. Here's Hunter Schreiman across the 40 and all the way down to the 38-yard line. It's a 23-yard punt return and sets the Osage Indians up 1st and 10 at the Eldon 38.
And then he blew a tire there at the end, too, or he would have still had a chance to advance the ball even a little bit further. This might be the ball game right here. I mean, if Osage can't convert on this great field position, get up 21-0, yeah, they're in good shape, you'd have to say, because they've been pretty impressive on both sides of the ball. But if Eldon can get a stop, then get a score before halftime, they get the ball to start the 2nd half. So this is key here.
Indeed, Mike, good point and something to look at. Hunter Schreiman still single covered, top of your screen. It's going to be a handoff to Arrowwood trying to get the edge. He has it, now cuts back on a spin move and runs into the back of Schreiman, which limits him to a 7-yard gain, but a good gainer on 1st down nonetheless.
Yeah, but what a play by Chase Atkinson out there, I believe it was. No, check that. It was Colin Brisbane. I mean, that play looked like it was blocked perfectly. It was going to be one-on-one. Brisbane was able to beat the block out there, get off, and get the tackle. That was a very, very good play.
2nd down and 4 now. After the gainer, go right back to Brock Arrowwood. Ooh, he lowers the shoulder pads and has a Beck Wellness Center 1st down. It was a good piece of tackling, but a really solid run. So
Eldon play was a little shaken up there. Sorry, I was giving you a bad signal, but he's all right. He's up and moving.
Good deal. So as they move the sticks, Osage now 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line. And Arrowwood just so tough. Like you said, he's not that big, but, man, he's tough to bring down.
Shifty.
Yeah.
Shifty is what they always use as a description for a running back such as he.
Now Drake Williams trying to get the edge, little Jimmy, and he's going to be stopped and then pushed out of bounds after a modest gain. But we've already seen tonight from Brock Arrowwood the trucking of a player, the stiff-arming of a player, and we've also seen him bust through the middle of the defense and just push people over. So 2nd down and 8 now as Osage has a 2-score lead, 5 minutes, and it's worth noting that Eldon's going to get the football first to start the second half.
Right.
So they really want to stop him. Here's Arrowwood now on 2nd down, and he keeps fighting, keeps trucking, and really solid gain. Mike didn't look like it, but he picks up 4 or 5.
Yeah, the interior of the line did a great job there for Osage. Really kept the pile moving forward, and Arrowwood took very good advantage of it. Big play here, 3rd and about 4.
Yeah, Eldon, they're going to be hoping to get a stop, but for Osage, just outside the red zone with it, 3rd and 4. And now Coach Shannon Jolly going to use a timeout. So with 4:37 left in the first half, Osage has the ball and a 14-point lead on Lake TV's Game of the Week.
It all started in Missouri.
These hills have heard our language.
This identity is more than just a history lesson.
We are a nation that stands very strong because of the people that came before us.
We're Wajaji, and the Wajajis come from Missouri.
Back here on Lake TV, we appreciate you guys tuning in to Lake TV's coverage of high school football. I'm William Holst, joined by the Hall of Famer Mike Bissell. And Mike, as we get ready for halftime here in a few minutes, we got our Hedges Scott Millard Funeral Home halftime show. We'll have some first half stats. We'll have some highlights. And for Eldon, they're hoping it's no worse than a 2-score game. But Osage, they've got other ideas. 3rd down and 4 from the 22. Trusty going to give it to Arrowwood. No one home. He's got 1st down yardage and then some. Inside the 10 and still fighting. A Beck Wellness Center 1st down. And Osage should have it 1st and goal, if not 1st and 10 from the 11. Arrowwood, once again, is tough to bring down.
Well, I would say that Arrowwood should go to his left tackle, number 55, and say thank you, because he was able to handle the defensive end and really turn him to the inside, and Arrowwood took advantage of. What was the gain there on that play?
From the 21, so it was a 10-yard.
Okay.
Beck Wellness Center run, and right back on the ground is Drake Williams now. Nice cut back, still fighting. Drake Williams inside the 5, and finally taken down as Osage inside the Price and Randall Injury Attorneys red zone. We'll have it 2nd down and 10 from about the 4 after a 7-yard run by Drake Williams.
Yeah, it looked like that was stopped cold at the outset. Williams showing some good one-on-one effort there to get Sam probably a little closer to 6.
So 2nd down and 3 from the 5. They can still get a 1st down. Here's Trusty. Hands it off to Arrowwood, who's into the end zone for the score. And Osage extends their lead. It's 20-0 with 3:49 left here in the first half.
Well, that was impressive. The interior line just really moved everybody out in the center there. Just see the push here and a nice gap. Arrowwood really wasn't touched until he got to about the 1.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, for that first drive, as much as that was the Hunter Schreiman drive, it was equally as much the Brock Arrowwood drive that time around for Osage, Mike.
Yeah, it just he put together some big numbers, and they couldn't run the ball at all that first drive.
And Brady Clark on the PAT stays perfect. He's 12 for 12 on the season of the Osage Indians, out in front by a score of 21-0.
At COMC, your health is our mission. Central Ozarks Medical Center offers 3 OBGYNs at the Osage Beach Clinic and 2 pediatricians with same-day appointments available. At COMC, our doors are open to everyone with 5 primary care locations conveniently located across the Ozarks. COMC for the best medical, dental, and behavioral health care. Get more info on how COMC can help you at centralozarks.org. COMC, where your health is our mission.
Competing on the field requires hard work.
It also requires effort and making good choices, which carries over off the field.
Like good choices behind the wheel of your car. Did you know that a driver is 20 times more likely to be in a serious accident if texting and driving?
Last year alone, 104 people were killed in Missouri from distracted driving. So keep leading the statistics, but don't become one.
Buckle up, phones down.
This Drive Safe, Boat Safe reminder brought to you by Price & Randall, injury attorneys.
21-0 it is. School of the Osage over Eldon here. 3:49 left in the first. We'd like to thank Athletic Director Steve Henderson here at Eldon High School. Steve enjoyed telling me that he can see his retirement on the horizon. He goes, Mike, does that make you feel old? You broadcast my high school games. Yes, every time I get out of bed in the morning, I feel old. And also the assistant coaches for Eldon, Colby Davis, Ryan Calvino, Chad Hines, Jacob Kelling, and Dusty Purnell. And we want to recognize Osage here in just a moment as well.
Nice shallow kick, fielded, great coverage for Osage. Not a lot on the return. It was a shallow kick, but well covered up, and that's where Eldon will start. 1st and 10 at their own 31.
And Shannon Jolly's staff, which includes Zach Hess, Chris Butler, Jake Evans, Rob Heembrock, David Austin, Jarrett Brooks, J.C. Brent here from Eldon, P.J. Bledsoe from Eldon, Graham Bacham from Eldon, and Matt Barnes.
Yeah, you mentioned that trio. 3 great players.
Yeah.
We got an opportunity to cover them, and all those guys played for Shannon Jolly here at Eldon, so neat. So 1st down and 10 now. 3:45 left in the half. Eldon needs some points. Nice little delayed draw, but Osage was ready in on the stop. And big number 51 says no, sir-ee. Taking down Hines for a loss. That's a great play by Brody Price, the junior. Brings up 2nd down and 11.
You know, but Williams had a clean blitz from the outside. He was not touched. That forced Hines to do something he didn't want to do, which was to go back up into traffic, and that's where the tackle was made. But Williams really made that play on the blitz.
It's one thing to have blitzers coming free, right? It's another thing when the rest of the defense is assignment sound and get past that first line. It just takes away any options, and so far Osage defense has been really strong. Inside handoff, it was a tough exchange, and DeLong not a lot on 2nd down. Going to bring up 3rd down and long as Osage's defense is starting to just gang tackle and really rally to the football quickly here. For Eldon, you know they're not a passing team, but something tells me that Drew Hines, he can absolutely air it out, and something tells me in the second half we might have to see some of that.
Yeah, if you can. I thought I saw a flag here, but that was something else, the bottom of a shoe. Had a little trouble with the snap here recently, too. We've had 2 of them that have been a little off the mark, and if the quarterback has to take his eyes off downfield action to look to see where the ball's at, that really can throw the timing of the whole play off.
So 3rd down and 9. Now we got a timeout for Eldon. Their 2nd of the half, so they've got 2:13 and a timeout left. But first, they've got a 3rd and 9 standing in their way. We'll take a commercial break and be right back on Lake TV.
The Dog Days of Summer Savings Event and the Subaru A Lot to Love event are going on now at Van Subaru. Save more with every mile at Kansas City's Subaru destination. Get 0% APR for 60 months when you upgrade to a new 2025 Subaru Crosstrek or a new 2025 Subaru Outback with 0 down payment needed and no payments for 60 days. Shop now at vansubaru.com, where you save more with every mile.
So Nick, Griffin uses their 2nd timeout on the front side of the break, Mike. So 2:13, and how crucial do you believe it is here for Eldon? Maybe not to score, but if you give it back to Osage with time to score and go down 4 before the break, that's going to make it tough.
Yeah, Osage has got, I'm not sure if I'm seeing this right. Osage has got 2 timeouts remaining as well, too. So we know they can do some things on offense in a hurry if need be. Yeah, you got to try to take care of the ball here, but it just, I don't know. Eldon just seems like a step slower here, maybe. and they've just not been able to put such positive yardage there on that first drive, and then the holding penalty put an end to that.
So Eldon now, Drew Hines out of the gun. 3rd down and 9. Brisbane in motion. Gonna fake it to him and take a shot. Looking for his intended target. Brock Arrowwood pulls it in. Cuts back across field, still on his feet. Brock Arrowwood inside the 20, and he will score. Brock Arrowwood from 50 yards out. We do have a marker on the field at the 33-yard line. It'll probably erase that, but what a return nonetheless for Brock Arrowwood and the Osage Indians.
There was a scrum right there where that flag is thrown at about the 33-yard line. And I kind of lost Arrowwood in that. He popped out the other side. I'm assuming it's a bad block. I feel kind of bad for Hines there because they just didn't pick up the blitz at all. And he had to throw off his front foot. The ball hung up a little bit. It's going to be an interception. This penalty is post-possession. So the interception will stand, but they're going to have a bad block. I think they'll move it back a little bit. See, he couldn't step into the throw.
Well, the indication, strangely enough, the official gave a pass interference signal.
Okay.
But it doesn't look like Osage's defense is staying out there.
Well, you know, we had a play earlier where they had a blocking penalty, and I thought he was signaling pass interference, but that was not the case.
Maybe it was a block in the back,
Yeah,
but he certainly gave us the pass interference. So 159 Osage, great field position. The Arrowwood interception stands. It's the second takeaway tonight for the Indian defense. They go right back to Brock Arrowwood, still on his feet. Outside as a Beck Wellness Center first down, and a nice gainer across the 40 down to the 38-yard line.
Boy, Arrowwood looks sharp here. He's really taken over really struggling a little bit early in the first possession or two. They've featured him, and he's been very effective. And did we have a timeout here? No, apparently not. Just not in any hurry. I don't know why. Did he get out of bounds? I guess
Yeah,
he did.
he must have, because the clock is stopped. Now they're going to give it back to Drake Williams. He tries to stutter step and get outside. Staying home are the Eldon Mustangs. Leading the charge for Eldon, number 52, Joe Reed, the junior. That's going to bring up 3rd down or 2nd down and long, rather.
Yeah, Arrowhead had the Arrowwood did have the first down on the first run.
So 2nd down and 11, 120 and counting here in this first half. Don't go anywhere. We'll have our Hedges Scott Millard halftime show momentarily. Now here's taking a shot. In and out of the hands and incomplete. Colt Butler, a little high and hard, could have hauled it in, but instead ricochets, and almost a near interception for Eldon. So 3rd down and long now for Osage.
Yeah, that was about the end of the drive right there. Looked like Trusty really locked in on his receiver and just threw it a little bit high, and then the receiver got blasted after the ball went past him. That could have been a double whammy if that had been an interception. 3rd and long.
Watch Hunter Schreiman, top of your screen with the red gloves and shoes. Trusty. He's in trouble and goes down. He is sacked. Coming on the blitz for the Mustangs, Bryce Brenzen with the QB sack, and a minute left. Eldon gets the stop, and they should get the football back on a punt. That's a big stand for this defense, Mike.
Yeah, Berenson just a bit of a delayed blitz. Now timeout called by Osage on 4th down. Yeah, he just came free on the inside. And what a play out there as well by Brendan Wilson. He saw that his teammate was coming free, so he slid back in the flat there to cover a potential pass in case he didn't get there for the sack. Not sure why Osage would want to call a timeout here.
I was going to ask, are they going to do a fake or something? I mean, I don't understand why you'd reserve that time for Eldon. Nonetheless, 4th down and 20. It was a big-time QB sack.
I'm surprised Eldon's even sending anyone back deep here.
Yeah, I'd send the house.
Yeah, it's 4th and, 22, 21.
Low snap, fielded. Nice job by Maverick Trusty, and what a punt he gets off. Wow, all the way down to the 3. A sensational punt of 45 yards. That's twice tonight. A 45-yard plus punt off the foot of Maverick Trusty has flipped fields. And for Eldon, you get the stop, but with only 53 seconds left, you got a long way to go, and your offense not exactly built to go 97 yards in 53 seconds.
Yeah, and Osage only has one timeout, so I don't think they have a lot of interest in stopping the clock here. I think Eldon would be happy just to get into the locker room, make some adjustments, and try to come out with that first possession of the second half. But we'll
first
see.
they have to prevent a safety should Osage be sending the house in this situation. Here's Drew Hines. Inside handoff, trying to get outside and tripped up from behind. That's a big play. Number 75, Caden Langolier with the stop. Just tripped him up. Going to bring up second down and 10, and that clock continues to run inside 35 seconds now. It doesn't look like anyone in a real hurry. So presumably your score at halftime will be the Osage Indians out in front by a score of 21-0. But for Eldon, little momentum. They get the stop and should go into the halftime knowing they get the football first, Mike. And it didn't get worse as Hines now takes the snap, holds it, runs into a wall. And that, with just 8 seconds left, should do it. And so we'll take a commercial break and be back here in a couple minutes where Mike and I will have your Hedges Scott Millard Funeral Home halftime show. We'll show you some stats, we'll show you some highlights, and we'll get you ready for tonight's second half of action.
Hey everybody, it's Daryl Cunningham with Slumberland Furniture at the Lake. Football season's back. What's that mean for you? You've got to have a comfy place to sit, whether it's Sundays, Mondays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, whatever day you like to watch football, we've got a chair that's going to make it comfortable. All at a great price and interest-free financing. And don't forget, we deliver the entire lake area. Come see us at Slumberland Furniture, where we're bringing happy home.
Life truly is all about memories, but more importantly, those we create those memories with. And at Hedges Scott Millard Funeral Homes, our staff focuses on the families we serve.
Maybe you wouldn't necessarily know where to start. Josh showed up from the beginning to the end. He did amazing. I would absolutely recommend him to everybody I know.
At Hedges Scott Millard, we understand it's the little things that make a big difference for the families we serve.
It's time for a new home, and your solution is Ozark Homes under the Water Tower in Laurie. Your home is and should be your safe place. At Ozark Homes, we take your dream and make it a reality while staying within your budget. With real estate and construction prices at an all-time high, let Ozark Homes stretch your dollar. We have many customizable options, including kitchens, bathrooms, fireplaces. We even offer a second level option. Quotes are always free, so give us a call or stop by today. Ozark Homes, making homeowners' dreams a reality for over 30 years.
Lake life starts here. At Lake Expo Real Estate, we know that buying or selling a lakefront property is more than just a transaction. It's the beginning of a new chapter. A chapter that we strive to make easy, from listing to closing. In a competitive market, we showcase your property to the masses online with lakeexpo.com, returning unmatched visibility. And if you're ready to buy that lake house, our team lives and breathes the lake lifestyle, so we know what this chapter is all about. At Lake Expo Real Estate, we believe in community, cherishing those lasting memories, and helping make your lake dream a reality. Check us out online to find lake properties. No logins, no distractions, just pure, unfiltered lake views and options. Lake Expo Real Estate, where we are ready to be a part of your next chapter.
Another great cup of coffee for you this week. Bike Fest is in the books. It was huge, and it's getting bigger.
That and Presiding Commissioner Ike Skelton, his hearing is continued again.
Yeah, and the Fall In-Water Boat Show is this week.
And local 9-year-old Aiden Bethura, the Sports Illustrated National Athlete of the Year. He makes the quarterfinals.
Great story, and we remember Charlie Kirk.
That and more on this week's Cup of Coffee from Slumberland at the Lake.
Don't forget to tune in to this month's edition of the Monthly Market Update. I'm Jessica Bruce with the Bruce & Kelly Real Estate Team, where we'll be touring this month this gorgeous home located right on the waterfront here in Sunrise Beach. We're also going to meet up with Stacy Pirtle, one of the members of Community Foundation here at the lake, talk about what they do and some upcoming awesome events they have. And we are going to meet the newest owner of Doug Wright Powerboats, Justin Wagner, and we may even get to go out on a new 40-foot cat. All that and more on this month's edition.
At New Spring Wellness Center, we understand how hectic life can be and the stress that comes with it. We also understand that your health often gets forgotten about. Whether it's addiction, weight loss, or lack of energy, New Spring Wellness Center offers natural services you won't find other places. From our vitamin IV drips to our laser hair removal and everything else. Naturally better health is our focus at New Spring Wellness Center in Osage Beach. Call now to schedule your free consultation.
So what are you in for? I had a few beers and I decided to drive. You? I stopped at a green light. I was high.
Dude, you can't be drunk or high while driving.
Yeah, that's illegal.
Even just slightly buzzed or high decreases your reaction time by at least 50%.
What?
It does. Well, what did you guys do?
We robbed the house.
Be a good guy. Don't drive drunk or high.
During this chapter of life, we are really taking the time to enjoy the little things.
So it was important to have our final wishes pre-planned so our family wouldn't be burdened later on.
Hedges Scott Millard made it simple, but thorough. They provided us with different options right here in the comfort of our home.
We are so glad that we planned ahead. Now a whole lot more of this, a little of this, all with the peace of mind we wanted.
At Hedges Scott Millard, we believe that every day is a gift, and so is every life. Take time to enjoy it.
Back here on Lake TV, it's your Hedges Scott Millard Funeral Homes halftime show, and Mike at the break. It's all Osage. They lead 21-0.
When you're a ball control type team, you can't make mistakes. And Eldon's turned it over twice, had that one big penalty when they had a nice, really a nice drive going there early on in the game that could have changed the outcome a little bit. But still, it's 21-0. Eldon first possession to start the second half. They won the toss, elected to defer. So they've got to have something come out of that. For Osage, again, I go back to last week. They're showing a lot of things here tonight they did not do against Blair Oaks. So they were saving some things. And one that really jumped out at me was early on. They had Schreiman, who ran that out to perfection from Trusty. And he did the little out and then up, single coverage, no safety over the top, a big gain. That took the top off and really put a lot of pressure on the Eldon defense. And then after they scored that touchdown, they threw the couple of times, but most of it was the running back. And Arrowwood and Williams both running it effectively in the first half.
Yeah, and so from the start, as soon as the kickoff happened, Osage got it, and you alluded to that play with Hunter Schreiman. Well, he had 5 or 6 catches on that opening drive, and it was all him. And you alluded to the penalty that really backed up Eldon. Looked like they might tie it, right? They were eating up some clock, getting back in. But with that stop, in the very next drive for Osage, then they ran the ball, and it was Brock Arrowwood on the ground. And so I get the sense that for Osage, they feel like they can have their way. They can pass it, they can run it. And for Eldon, they got that stop and the ball back. And as you said, they will get the football first, but that's a tall task with the way that first half went in regards to Eldon trying to get back into this game, Mike.
And you're not going to really assume that Osage is going to be static and not score again. I mean, they've proven that they can move the ball in different ways. So it's got to be something for Eldon. You've got to say, okay, forget it. We did not play well in the first half. Osage probably outplayed us here. Now you've got to try to set the tone in the second half and clean some things up that was really a problem. Again, Hines looked to me like he was a little bit frustrated there because they were just getting a free run at him every time. The few times he did go back to pass.
And I like the fact that even though it turned out an interception, and at times you're like, you don't want your quarterback to make those kind of choices. 3rd and 9 when the blitz comes and your team's down, like you have to give your guy a shot, right? And so Hines just in there fighting, doing the best that he can. Now, as we look at some numbers for the first half, something that'll stand out to you for sure will be Hunter Schreiman, as he has 2 touchdowns, I know for a fact, but his numbers got to be good enough for a game, Mike.
And it was all in the first quarter. 6 catches. 39, 13, 9, 8, 7, and 22. The last 2 there were both touchdowns. All that in the first quarter. So 6 for 98. He was the only one to catch a pass for Osage there in the first half. You want me to go ahead and do the rest
yes,
of the stats?
Yes, please.
Okay, let's look at the individual rushing totals. Butler had 1 carry for -4 yards. Trusty had that late sack there in the second quarter, lost 12 yards. Williams 7 for 33. And Airwood, after a slow start, he had a 3 and a -3. He really took off, 12 for 68. So 85 yards rushing for Schooley Osage on 21 attempts. 98 yards for Schreiman and the passing game. So a total of 183 in the first half, 6 of 9 passing for Maverick Trusty for a 183 total. 2 penalties for 15 yards. No turnovers for Schooley Osage. That's a big difference. The penalties really didn't hurt Osage, and no turnovers. For the Eldon Mustangs, coming in at 3-0, the number 1 team in their district, by the way, Osage number 2. Hines had 6 carries for 33 yards. Most of that was a 24-yarder that he did break off. DeLong 5 for 17, and Brisbane 5 for 18. So 68 yards rushing for Eldon on 16 attempts, no fumbles. The passing stats, not as good. 2 for 6, and the catches actually should be 3 for 7. 1 for DeLong that lost a yard. 2 for Hammond, who had a 5 and a -5, so just a push there. So -1 yards passing, 68 rushing, 67 net. 1 penalty, and it did kind of kill that drive. That was a hold or a block in the back for 10 yards. But the 2 interceptions, the one, the receiver fell down in the end zone. The other, pressure right up the middle on Hines, and he had to just throw off his front foot. He couldn't step into it. The ball hung up, and there's some ball hawks back there for Schooley Osage. They picked it off.
Yeah, and I mean, that's surprising, right? I think there was a penalty on the pick 6. Probably it would have been a pick 6. One of the coolest returns, impressive play that didn't stand. But I'm surprised we've only got 3 penalties so far in this game. These 2 teams, I mean, it's been fairly clean. And so for Eldon, you know that you like to run the football, but down 21, what do you want to see from Nick Griffin and the Eldon Mustangs in this first series?
I think realistically, you want to get back to who you are and try to get that ground game going. Then maybe you can throw successfully off of that. You've got a whole half to play with. I'm not sure that they can go one-on-one with Schreiman out there, but then if you pull somebody out of the box, that exposes you to the running game Osage a little bit more, trying to get some safety help over the top. Because after that first long reception by Schreiman, which was 39 yards, the corner had to play soft because he got beat deep on that out and up. And I'm sure they were well schooled watching the film from last week, how many out catches there were, just a simple out, maybe 8-10 yards. And so he had to kind of give a little bit of cushion out there on the corner. I don't know, you got to give some help over the top.
And what's good for Osage is because their rushing attack is so potent, and at any time, not just Arrowwood and Drake Williams, but we haven't seen it tonight. Maverick Trusty, he can scoot. They have to respect the run. They can't really put an extra defender out there to help with Schreiman. And so for Osage, anytime they want to try and take a shot with Hunter Schreiman, the line has shown they'll give Maverick Trusty time. And so I expect to see more of that, even up 21, because, man, it's working in for Osage. However this second half goes, they've got the heart of their schedule coming up as well.
Yeah, you mentioned Shannon Jolly's taken over the play calling duties. I think he's done a great job of mixing it up here in the first half.
Yeah, it's been really nice, about 50-50, and you love getting to see the strength. But for Eldon, they've got playmakers. We know there's been 2 interceptions. 1 cost them, 1 they were able to get the hold. But for Eldon, this first drive, you mentioned it, you really want to get back and establish the run. And so I think, we've said it all night, this first play for scrimmage going to be a huge tell for Eldon. If you get blown up and lose yardage, look out. But if you're able to get 5+ yards and kind of establish, that could go a long way for a team that, boy, game of momentum, and that's true tonight, that if you get off to a slow start for Eldon, look out.
Yeah, just, again, not the type of offense that's going to, come from behind down 21 points. It's just not built for that. And you've got to think a little bit long-term here, too. If they go ahead and fall to Osage, they're 3-1, and they've still got, Blair Oaks on the schedule coming up. I don't think anybody else in the conference scares you.
Right.
I mean, Blair Oaks, obviously, we've mentioned this over and over again. They're kind of in their own little stratosphere. but I don't think anybody else in the conference really scares you. So Eldon, if you're thinking way ahead for them, which I'm doing right now, you know, you've kind of given up the lead in the district probably if you fall to Osage, but you'd like to really try to consolidate that number 2 spot. That gets you at least 1 home game, probably 2.
Sure. Okay, so we're going to come back here in a couple minutes and let you guys see some of the halftime festivities. But I did want to mention for all of you watching, whether you're in Osage or Eldon, next Saturday, the 27th, mark your calendar. It's the annual Turkey Festival in downtown Eldon, one of the coolest annual traditions like no other. And I always love those big old turkey legs. And if you're watching on Lake TV, don't miss every Tuesday, Uncle Chris Schneider, he sits down with Par Pitts and Shannon Jolly, the head coaches for Osage and for Camden 10 on our COMC weekly coaches show every single week. And every Wednesday, you can catch a brand new cup of coffee. We run down local headlines, developments, and what's happening around the lake area. And there's all kinds of great stuff happening on Lake TV, so make sure you check that out. Now, we'll wrap up, Mike, our halftime show, thanks to our good friends at Hedges Scott Millard Funeral Homes, and we'll come back with our second half. 21-0, your score for Osage over the Mustangs at half.
Life truly is all about memories, but more importantly, those we create those memories with. And at Hedges Scott Millard Funeral Homes, our staff focuses on the families we serve.
Maybe you wouldn't necessarily know where to start. Josh showed up from the beginning to the end. He did amazing. I would absolutely recommend him to everybody I know.
At Hedges Scott Millard, we understand it's the little things that make a big difference for the families we serve.
The Dog Days of Summer Savings Event and the Subaru A Lot to Love event are going on now at Van Subaru. Save more with every mile at Kansas City's Subaru destination. Get 0% APR for 60 months when you upgrade to a new 2025 Subaru Crosstrek or a new 2025 Subaru Outback with 0 down payment needed and no payments for 60 days. Shop now at vansubaru.com, where you save more with every mile.
At COMC, your health is our mission. Central Ozarks Medical Center offers 3 OBGYNs at the Osage Beach Clinic and 2 pediatricians with same-day appointments available. At COMC, our doors are open to everyone with 5 primary care locations conveniently located across the Ozarks. COMC for the best medical, dental, and behavioral health care. Get more info on how COMC can help you at centralozarks.org. COMC, where your health is our mission.
Competing on the field requires hard work.
It also requires effort and making good choices, which carries over off the field.
Like good choices behind the wheel of your car. Did you know that a driver is 20 times more likely to be in a serious accident if texting and driving?
Last year alone, 104 people were killed in Missouri from distracted driving. So keep leading the statistics, but don't become one.
Buckle up, phones down.
This Drive Safe, Boat Safe reminder brought to you by Price & Randall, injury attorneys.
Hey everybody, it's Daryl Cunningham with Slumberland Furniture at the Lake. Football season's back. What's that mean for you? You've got to have a comfy place to sit, whether it's Sundays, Mondays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, whatever day you like to watch football, we've got a chair that's going to make it comfortable. All at a great price and interest-free financing. And don't forget, we deliver the entire lake area. Come see us at Slumberland Furniture, where we're bringing happy home.
At Beck Wellness, we always say that if you don't make time for your wellness, you'll be forced to make time for your illness. Our goal is to make sure you're ready to enjoy all the lake has to offer, and more importantly, that you don't miss out on the moments that matter the most. From neuropathy, problems with your feet, hip, or back pain, and even a spinal tune-up. I'll make sure you're set to enjoy the moments that matter the most. I'm Dr. Mark Beck, inviting you to stop by for a consultation. But for now, back to this live high school game of the week on Lake TV.
It's time for a new home, and your solution is Ozark Homes under the water tower in Lori. Your home is and should be your safe place. At Ozark Homes, we take your dream and make it a reality while staying within your budget. With real estate and construction prices at an all-time high, let Ozark Homes stretch your dollar. We have many customizable options, including kitchens, bathrooms, fireplaces. We even offer a second level option. Quotes are always free, so give us a call or stop by today. Ozark Homes, making homeowners' dreams a reality for over 30 years.
What's like and follow?
Phones are very distracting. Which is why Missouri now has a law against holding a phone while driving.
Dude, what are you doing? You can't hold your phone while driving.
Yeah, that's illegal. Buckle up.
It's the Lake Expo app, the lake's trusted news source, the boating lifestyle, the hottest lakefront real estate, where to go, what to see, and what to do at the lake. It's the Lake Expo app. Download it today.
At New Spring Wellness Center, we understand how hectic life can be and the stress that comes with it. We also understand that your health often gets forgotten about. Whether it's addiction, weight loss, or lack of energy, New Spring Wellness Center offers natural services you won't find other places. From our vitamin IV drips to our laser hair removal and everything else. Naturally better health is our focus at New Spring Wellness Center in Osage Beach. Call now to schedule your free consultation.
Another great cup of coffee for you this week. Bike Fest is in the books. It was huge, and it's getting bigger.
That and Presiding Commissioner Ike Skelton, his hearing is continued again.
Yeah, and the Fall In-Water Boat Show is this week.
And local 9-year-old Aiden Bethurham, the Sports Illustrated National Athlete of the Year. He makes the quarterfinals.
Great story, and we remember Charlie Kirk.
That and more on this week's Cup of Coffee from Slumberland at the Lake.
Lake life starts here. At Lake Expo Real Estate, we know that buying or selling a lakefront property is more than just a transaction. It's the beginning of a new chapter. A chapter that we strive to make easy, from listing to closing. In a competitive market, we showcase your property to the masses online with lakeexpo.com, returning unmatched visibility. And if you're ready to buy that lake house, our team lives and breathes the lake lifestyle, so we know what this chapter is all about. At Lake Expo Real Estate, we believe in community, cherishing those lasting memories, and helping make your lake dream a reality. Check us out online to find lake properties. No logins, no distractions, just pure, unfiltered lake views and options. Lake Expo Real Estate, where we are ready to be a part of your next chapter.
Back here on Lake TV, and big shout out to our friend Reed Millard in Eldon tonight. Brought in Zion Hardy with him. Cool getting to see our buddy Reed, of course, all they do for all these lake communities. And Mike, if you're wondering, I know you know, but a couple of great matchups coming up next week. We're back in Camdenton, where the Lakers will play host to Battle, and that's Camdenton's homecoming night. And then the following week will be in Osage once again, where Osage plays host to Hallsville for Osage's homecoming. Before week 7, we'll make our first trip to Boonville, where they'll be playing our Osage Indians. So we'll get Osage here 2 of the next 3 weeks as well.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. And we were kind of talking about the district situation, and I had forgot to count the number of teams in the district. There are 7. So the winner of the district will get a bye, which gives you a chance to heal up and let everybody else kind of bash into each other for an extra week there while you sit back and watch. I don't know if it's as big a deal. It's not a big deal like in baseball. You know, like these playoffs have expanded them so far for the Major League Baseball. I don't know if it's that big of a deal in baseball. In football, I think it would be, just to get that extra week to kind of chill. Coach Reed, I know, is always really good after a bye week. So, yeah, it's a big deal. I do have an update on the Versailles score. They are struggling. It was 6-0 at the end of the first, and El Dorado Springs blew it open in the second quarter. It's 30-0 now at halftime. So Versailles not looking like they're going to get their first win here tonight. Tigers programmed down a little bit right now.
Yeah, and you know what was crazy, Mike, is coming into this season, there were actually talks that their roster or their
might not have enough kids.
Was on the verge, and so they do go into this season, but with a very small roster. When you're a small school like Versailles as it is, and injuries start to stack up, I mean, it's a tough situation. And of course, for the Versailles Tigers, we feel for them, and you know that's tough. But all schools, you know, they go through those series. We talked about in the pregame, those stretches of being up and being down, and changing conferences and being down this year. I don't suspect that Versailles will stay there real long because now they're in the Highland Conference, the Ozark Highlands, and you know that's where they wanted to be, and that's schools similar to them. So we hope they'll get better numbers moving forward. And as you look at teams like Osage and Camdenton and even Eldon, what they've been able to do here the last 8 to 10 years, you get the younger guys excited, right? You win some games on Fridays. The kids, it's infectious. They want to be part of it. They can't wait to be there, and so that's what Versailles is hoping to do. And as we look around the lake area, I saw not only our local teams that we alluded to in the Tri-County Conference, but it even looks like some of our other local schools. We talk about Camdenton being 0-3 and down big at Elias. Lebanon's 1-2 this year, Mike.
Yeah, and they've been really good here coming off a very hot stretch. Yeah, for Versailles, I mean, you look around the conference, and I think probably with the exception maybe California, you'd have to say all those school districts are growing. And Versailles isn't, so it's going to be a tough way for them to go to stay in the Tri-County.
So we're set now as we're here on Lake TV for your game of the week. 21-0 Osage. They're set to kick off. Eldon gets the football first from Victor Field, and here we go. Brady Clark's kick is up, and it's short. That is a live football fielded at about the 13 and then taken back. Heads up play to go grab it, Chase Atkinson, but Osage all over that, and for Eldon, they start 1st and 10 at their own 10-yard line.
Yeah, they give him a little bit of forward progress there, so it could have been a little bit worse. Eldon only 67 yards, I should say, of offense in the first half, and I know they certainly want to improve on that.
How many?
67.
Wow, I mean, that's a testament to the Osage defense as well, right? A team that comes in averaging 240 yards per game on the ground.
Right.
So at their own 10-yard line, they got a long field in front of them. On this first drive, Drew Hines out of the gun. First down carry. That's Brisbane, and not a lot. We'll give them 2 or 3 on first down, and see the American flags and the water tower. Mike, how long ago? Here's a little trivia for you, without an answer because I have no idea. How long ago did Eldon move from the old high school field, Alley Field, to Victor Field out here?
It's been at least 10 years, probably. Yeah, probably it's been at least 10 years. I was thinking earlier how beautiful this field is. Boy, it was not the first year they moved out here. It was a mess.
Sure. I remember the old field by the high school, not your most flattering of football venues. Second down carry, nice run and good cutback, and he takes a shot. Does the ball carrier. Brisbane once again. He has about 4, maybe 5. Going to bring up 3rd down and short for Eldon, and that's fine. They like 3 and 4 yards, 3 and 4 yards, and this is the kind of 3rd down they have in their playbook.
Nice cutback by Brisbane. I think he saw the hit coming and actually just got down, which is a very smart move as it turns out. Here's a chance for Eldon to establish something, put some first downs together, get some positive momentum in a game that's been handled here by Osage for the most part.
So 3rd down and 2. Brisbane empty backfield. Gonna call his own number. Sorry, that's Drew Hines, and nothing doing. That is stuffed. Jaden Wilkes, Johnny on the spot, hits him right at the line of scrimmage as Hines on the design quarterback run. No room, and that's going to bring up 4th down and 3.
Yeah, that didn't look right. He was talking to the running back, moving him out just before the snap. And I think he wanted to try to get outside, but it just wasn't there. That's tough.
It looks like Eldon.
Yeah.
Well, Hines does the punting, and so it'll be interesting here. 4th and 2. They got to watch for a fake or a quick kick. Now Hines goes back, and so does Hunter Schreiman. Uh-oh, high snap. Nice job by Hines to get it. Trying to get outside, and he will be whacked at the 13-yard line. Ethan Wall with the stop, and Osage has it 1st and 10 at the Eldon 14-yard line.
So the center snaps continue to be a problem. A big turnaround. I guess Hines was reading the defense and it probably had an option whether to go for it or go ahead and drop back and punt. Saw that the defense was aware of the fact that he might run with it. He had no chance to get out of there.
So Osage 1st and 10 inside the Price and Randall Injury Attorneys red zone. Maverick Trusty takes the snap, handoff to Arrowwood. Hole closes quickly, has it inside the 11. Solid gain on 1st down.
Arrowwood now with 13 carries for 71 yards in the game.
Yeah, he has been tough to bring down and been a workhorse on the ground. Now we're 2nd down and about 7 from the 11-yard line. And for Eldon, they have to find a way to keep Osage out of the end zone if they want any hope tonight. Here's a little hesitation. Rolling to his right and throwing. It is a strike to Drake Williams, who hauls it in for an 8-yard gain. A Beck Wellness Center 1st down at the 5. Now it's going to be 1st and goal right there for Osage.
That was kind of odd by the defender on that play, because we're being inundated by bugs here.
And I stand corrected. They marked him out shy of a Beck Wellness Center 1st down, so it was only 7 yards, and it is 3rd down and 1 from the 5-yard line. Trusty inside give, quick hitter, and still on his feet. Now fighting into the end zone for a score. Brock Arrowwood would not go down. He had some help from his lineman. A play that looked to be stopped at the line of scrimmage. It is the little engine that could. Wow. Brock Arrowwood just keeps those legs churning. He had some help, but it's a 5-yard touchdown, and that's about as tough as you'll see for a 5-yard score, Mike.
As we've mentioned, he's not a big kid. He's listed at 5'8", 150. Or check that. 6 foot, 160.
See, he was plugged up there, still going. And look at number 55 and number 64. They say, we got you, buddy.
Their own little variation of the, well, here's a fake and a 2-point attempt.
Into the flat looking for Drake Williams, who catches it. The 2-point conversion is good.
I thought he was out of bounds.
The Eldon player also thought he was out of bounds, and they're going to say it is good. Well, the official was certainly out of position. There was no official with them lining up for an extra point. It was a nice throw, and Drake Williams apparently gets a foot in. The 2-point conversion is good, and with 9:01, Osage out in front by a score of 29-0.
Here's the replay on the 2-point conversion, and we'll get a great look at it here. Oh, it's 1 foot down. I think that's good.
Yeah, he got the left one down first. The right one hit right after. And, I mean, I'm not sure the official saw it, but he did end up getting the call right. Great camera angle from Brady Ford, making his Lake TV debut on the sideline camera tonight, filling in for a hobbled Sean Kober.
I don't want to be stepping on nails.
No, and tough day for him. Thinking about you, buddy. And appreciate our good friend Brady Ford with Matt Ford team. Keller Williams stepping in for us and doing a great job in his first night on camera. So Osage out in front, 29-0. Brady Clark set to kick. It's another good one. Fielded over the shoulder at about the 5-yard line. Look out. Here come the Indians in a nice little cutback across the 10, and that's where Chase Atkinson will be stopped at about the 12-yard line, but an impressive kickoff.
And Colt Butler with a good tackle there. He stayed with the play across the field. Thank you, Dave. I'd already just said that.
And, Mike, I'll say, over this last couple of weeks, we've seen Brady Clark's kickoffs start to get better. And that one, that's 2 times in a row that Eldon has backed up the return man, and Brady Clark's put it over their head. And that's a big weapon. We've talked about it, right?
I think Coach Jolly just wants to put as much in opposing coaches' heads as possible. They do that little short pooch kick. Here's a good running play to the outside.
DeLong with the room. Look at him go. All the way across midfield, still on his feet. Arrowwood, the last hope, cut across from DeLong inside the 20, inside the 10, and finally goes down at the 14-yard line. It is a 73-yard run for DeLong, the longest play from scrimmage tonight. And Mike, just like that, the Mustangs have it. First down and 10 inside the Price and Randall Injury Attorneys red zone.
You got 79 on that?
72.
72, okay. Nice. 69. You're a lot better at that than I am. This is an impressive run. I think the wheels just came off for DeLong here at the end. A couple of kids really stayed with it for Osage, or he would have went ahead and finished. Arrowwood, great effort to stay on it.
Yeah, just like that, Eldon, first and 10 at the 14-yard line. A little life here at Victor Field. Calling his own number is Hines. Inside the 10, close to the 5. Solid run will give him 8 yards. Going to bring up second down and short.
You know, I don't know if how much kids are aware of. I mean, Hines gets 6 there. But you think, okay, we were 3-0, and now it looks like we're going to lose our first game once we hit conference play. I mean, are the kids even aware of that? I mean, oh no, here we go again. I think Eldon's better than this. I think the conference is a little more level this year, and I just don't see that 0-6 in conference play going.
Sure, I like their chances with some upcoming matchups here. They've got it second down and 4 from the 8.
Zone read.
Keeping it is Hines. He's got first down yardage inside the 5. Good hard running. Going to be first down and goal at the 3 after a Beck Wellness Center first down for Drew Hines.
I think this could be really positive for Eldon to get this score off after that huge run by DeLong. It gives you something to work on. It gets your defense a little bit fired up here.
Yeah, first and goal from the 3. So far, we've seen a lot of DeLong on this drive. Of course, the 72-yard run set up Eldon. First and goal. Here's DeLong once again into the end zone for a touchdown. And not DeLong, it's actually Brenzen, Bryce Brenzen, the senior running back, with his second carry tonight. He is into the end zone for a 3-yard score, Mike, and Eldon desperately needed that.
Actually, I think it's going to be Hammond that's going to get the call here on the touchdown. We'll check this to make sure. The numbers are really hard to pick up. It is Hammond.
You are right.
You get the 3. Well, I had 3 looks at it, and you were calling it live. Those numbers are really hard to pick up. So Eldon gets on the board, 7:04 in the third quarter, and looks like they'll go for 2.
So out of the gun is Hines. 29-6 your score, hoping to cut it to 21. Hines going to call his own number. To the left, hole closes quickly, and he will be stuffed. The 2-point conversion, no good, so with 7:04 left in the third. Eldon cuts into the Osage lead. They trail by a score, 29-6.
Competing on the field requires hard work.
It also requires effort and making good choices, which carries over off the field.
Like good choices behind the wheel of your car. Did you know that a driver is 20 times more likely to be in a serious accident if texting and driving?
Last year alone, 104 people were killed in Missouri from distracted driving. So keep leading the statistics, but don't become one.
Buckle up, phones down.
This Drive Safe, Boat Safe reminder brought to you by Price and Randall, Injury Attorneys.
It's the Lake Expo app, the lake's trusted news source, the boating lifestyle, the hottest lakefront real estate, where to go, what to see, and what to do at the lake. It's the Lake Expo app. Download it today. Back on Lake TV at Eldon, where the Mustangs score. And it is Cale Hammond, the sophomore, who finds the end zone and cuts into the lead. So 23 points now and 2 touchdowns already, just 4 minutes, 56 seconds in to our third quarter, Mike. And for Eldon, gotta love that drive, of course, boosted by the long run by DeLong, but 72-yard runs have a way of definitely swinging momentum.
Yeah, you've got to have something positive to build on. I mean, you just don't want to just put the time in here in the second half saying, okay, we're down 21-0 at halftime. You know, get something positive out of it and make a run at it here.
Colt Butler from the 13-yard line. Now he reverses field on a little spin move after he gets swung by the defender and just shy of the 30 goes down. So Osage 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line. And Mike, if you're wondering what's coming up for the Eldon Mustangs, next week they'll be right back here. No, they'll be at Hallsville next week. Hallsville currently 0-3. Then week 6, they'll be right back here against Southern Boone, who is 1-2. And then week 7, Blair Oaks on the road. So this game, huge, but these next 2 weeks for Eldon are so crucial when you look at that district. Came in tonight first, and Osage hoping to do something about it with a big lead here on first down. Arrowwood gets the carry. Solid run as Beck Wellness Center first down yardage across the 40. Momentum stops at about the 43-yard line. We'll give him 13 yards, and Arrowwood starting to.
Nathan Grohl, number 54. He was growling on that one, man. He got in there and really opened up a big hole for Arrowwood. Good job there, a little curl in. Gets downfield after he made his initial block.
Yeah, he's also their long snapper, Nathan Grohl, and just a big part of this Osage team. And now they've got it 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line. Trusty the give to Williams. Drake Williams cuts back inside, reverses, and now here he goes inside the 30, inside the 10, and he will score. Drake Williams from 43 yards out. Sorry, 57. They punched it out late, Mike, but it was after he crossed the goal line. 57 yards to pay dirt for the senior Drake Williams, and that had to feel good for him.
Yeah, he's struggled a little bit. They did a good job of pulling the offside guard there and bringing him around. That was Landon Robbins, who really didn't really. It just goes to show you don't have to pancake somebody to say it's a good block. I'm not sure he made contact, but he forced the corner, the guy setting the edge out there, to go too far outside. Williams was able to cut it up inside, had a lane, and just outran everybody to the end zone.
I thought there was no way he was going to outrun all 3 of those guys, but he just kept creating a little more distance, and 57 yards later to the house, and now to attempt the extra point to hold by Dubs. Clark, the kick is up, and it is true. So with 6:18 left, Osage out in front by a score, 36-6.
What's like and follow?
Phones are very distracting. Which is why Missouri now has a law against holding a phone while driving.
Dude, what are you doing? You can't hold your phone while driving.
Yeah, that's illegal.
Buckle up.
Back here on Lake TV for Friday Night Lights. It's the Osage Indians out in front 36-6 over Eldon. And Mike, so far, after getting to see 2.5 quarters, is Osage this much better, or has Eldon just struggled to get anything going?
It was a battle of wills. I think, you know, one team really wanted to do one thing. The other team is more diverse in their offense. And I would think you'd have to say that the more diverse offense has certainly won out here. I don't want to beat this to death, but we've mentioned it several times. If you get behind the sticks and you're predominantly a running team, it just makes it so difficult.
Kick fielded at about the 15-yard line. Great coverage by Hunter Schreiman. There was some room there on the return, but closing quickly was Hunter Schreiman as Chase Atkinson, the senior, with the return. And Eldon has it 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line. And for them, the last series, their first score of the game. Can you gain some momentum from that? And also,
I'd hope so, yeah.
Also, that run to DeLong, 72 yards that eats up a lot of yards, nearly double what Eldon had gained up to that point in time.
In the first half, they only had 68, so yeah, with 4 to spare.
So a big play there in Eldon. I want to see a lot more of that, but that's easier said than done as Osage have been so tough defensively tonight. 2 takeaways already, minus that one play. They've played near perfect. Here's the handoff to Brisbane. Tries to get the edge, and Robert Dubbs slows him down, and Jaden Wilkes finishes him off. That goes for a couple of yard loss on the first down play, brings up 2nd and long.
Yeah, that's disappointing. It seems like some of the plays are a little bit predictable. And Osage really, they're not a big team, but they pursue so well from sideline to sideline. It seems like Eldon's best success has been running straight at them. Maybe they're, that would be accentuating your strength against maybe what they're not as good at. Ouch, except right there, man, that was pretty. Blow the whistle, guys.
Yeah, and taken down is Hines. First guy there for Osage, Landon Robbins, and Nicholas Joyner also in on the stop. Big number 52, and man, he's been impressive, what we've seen of him against, really, last week, Blair Oaks obviously had a great game, and tonight picked up right where he left off, and I can only imagine that through the first couple of weeks, games we didn't have, he was a force. We're going to look at this Osage team a lot the rest of this year. We still have 4 Indian games the rest of the way. And for Eldon, we got them one more time later this year as well. We'll look forward to being back here in Eldon.
Always.
So on 3rd down and long, inside a handoff, not a lot doing. They go back to the ground game. Cale Hammond, the sophomore, not a lot. Going to bring a 4th down and 10 now. And so for the Osage defense, they look to get another 3 and out, and it's too tough. They want to run the football as they have, and Osage says we're not going to allow it. And they're not lighting up either. Like, they're not backing down and going softer defense thinking Eldon's going to pass. They're playing hard, and now on 4th down and 10, is Eldon going for it?
It could be. Now they're going to drop back and punt now. High center snap. He's going to keep it.
He's got a lot of room. And here's Hines all the way down to the 40-yard line. It's a big-time gainer, Mike. We have 27 to the 50. They mark him out at the 38. We'll give him 39 yards on the run. It's a Beck Wellness Center first down and a really good call.
Yeah, and it was a last-second choice by Hines as well, because some of his blockers turned to look, oh, he's going. We better get out here and throw a block on somebody. And a couple of very effective ones downfield, and so Eldon keeps the drive alive.
Yeah, that was a great call. Really well executed, and Hines shows you his speed. And so Eldon, 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line. Think Shannon Jolly was happy about that?
I don't know, man. You're down 30. Shannon will get over it, but it's a big play for Eldon, though. Down 30, go for it, man.
Sure. Inside handoff. 3 or 4, I believe that was Brisbane in there on the carry.
So that's what Eldon has to have. They have to have something positive on 1st down.
It was number 3, Cale
Hammond again?
Yeah.
He's the one who had the touchdown.
So after the 4-yard pickup for Hammond, 2nd down and 6, ball's the 35-yard line. And in case you're wondering, following the conclusion of tonight's game, don't go anywhere. Mike and I will have our Van Subaru post-game show. Be on the field. We'll talk with head coach of our winning team and your Show Me Zero player of the game. Mike, you'll have some stats, I believe, and there's some good ones so far tonight. 2nd down and 6. Hines, nice run. He's got 1st down yardage, but a penalty marker flies from the sideline at about the 32.
You know, they've run this bunch formation. It's actually like a diamond with 4 players on the right side. Holding is called against Eldon. Oh, that hurts. And that was away from where the play went, so the hole probably didn't have anything to do with what took place on the field. But they run that diamond, but I mean, they're overloaded to the right, and then they run away from it. They've done that a couple of times with success. And again, that hold probably didn't have anything to do with the gain that Hines had there.
So they'll back him up after the penalty flag. And I don't know. We haven't had a lot of penalties here in this third quarter. There was only 3 total penalties in the first half. I mean, we're not complaining, but we don't see that a lot, right, at this juncture in the game. There's 4 penalties combined.
You know, last week there weren't any either. Very disciplined, both teams, in regards to penalties. Usually early in the season, coaches like to see penalties because it gives them something to beat their players over the head with and say, you can't do that, you can't do that.
Although knowing Shannon Jolly, he's never had a shortage of things to do that with. And there's an option, nice pitch out. Osage tries to contain, but after a broken tackle, it's a solid gain for Eldon. I believe that's Hammond once again. He has a solid gain, gets all the penalty yardage back and then some. They'll mark him at 34, give him 9 yards, and that's going to bring up 3rd down and about 6, Mike.
That's a big play for him. They fake the jet sweep, get a good block on the corner there from Damian Fisher. And that was well executed.
Making would-be tackler miss was Hammond, and sets his team up with 3rd and manageable here. Is winding close to 3 minutes here left in our third quarter. In motion for Eldon. That's Brisbane. He's going to get the carry. He's got close to 1st down yardage. He pays the price.
Somebody got rolled over there, one of the coaches. I hope he's okay. Okay.
Yeah, the chain game.
They're calling for help here. Somebody got taken out. Official timeout on the field.
So we're going to take a commercial break as they check on the chain gang. It's high school football on Lake TV.
It all started in Missouri.
These hills have heard our language.
This identity is more than just a history lesson.
We are a nation that stands very strong because of the people that came before us.
We're Wajaji, and the Wajajis come from Missouri.
At New Spring Wellness Center, we understand how hectic life can be and the stress that comes with it. We also understand that your health often gets forgotten about. Whether it's addiction, weight loss, or lack of energy, New Spring Wellness Center offers natural services you won't find other places. From our vitamin IV drips to our laser hair removal and everything else. Naturally better health is our focus at New Spring Wellness Center in Osage Beach. Call now to schedule your free consultation.
It's the Lake Expo app, the lake's trusted news source, the boating lifestyle, the hottest lakefront real estate, where to go, what to see, and what to do at the lake. It's the Lake Expo app. Download it today. Back here, we'll get another look here, Mike, on our instant replay brought to you by Lake Expo Real Estate. And oh, yeah, I can't really see, but that was rough.
Remember the chain gang? He thought the play had gone past him, and there was some action behind him, and they got into his legs. I didn't see like that, leg planted and twisted. So I mean, hopefully he just got the wind knocked out.
You weren't here, but there was about, I think, 6 years ago, and it was a former Lake TV staff member, Emily Ruffy, was running field camera for KRCG at the time.
Okay.
And it was a play on the sideline here, closest to our press box. She got rolled up on in Matrix style. And I saw her mom today, and what's funny is I thought her mom would never want to bring that up, and her mom, Grace, said to me, if you can get me a copy of that, I so want to bring that up at Christmas this year. I thought that was pretty funny, so shout out to Grace and Emily Ruffy, and now we're getting some applause. It looks like our injured chain gang member might be all right, and that's certainly the hopes, and that's a dangerous game, right, Mike?
Yeah, he might be a little sore in the morning, too. He's getting assisted off the field, but he is up and walking. Now, was there a player shaking
It actually looks like it is a Eldon player that is
who's being helped by an Osage player as well.
Is that Brisbane?
Too.
Yeah,
well,
Colin Brisbane.
Brisbane was on the carry.
Oh, no, that could be tough. We'll keep an eye on that, but Colin Brisbane is such a huge part of this Mustang team. And
yeah.
Tough. Yeah, definitely we didn't see the player. We saw the chain gang go down. We thought that's who was injured, but it's actually Colin Brisbane.
Let's take a look at this one more time here. Brisbane gets a carry on the jet sweep. Good blocking out in front of him. And then he kind of lost his balance. Maybe he was diving for that first down.
Oh, there it was. His left leg got hyperextended, and it was the chain gang that kind of created a wall that he ran into. So on 4th down and short now as we get back to football. Little play action, look out. Uh-oh. And that is going nowhere. The QB sack. Jaden Wilkes blows it up. It's a 11-yard loss and a turnover on downs, and Osage gets it right back.
What have you seen lately from Camdenton?
Well, I hate to share this unfortunate news, but with 40 seconds left in the first half, Elias out in front by a score, 56-0.
Wow. That hasn't happened in a long time. I had a game at Elias early on in my broadcast career that Camdenton lost, very decisive fashion, 2-0. A bad center snap on a punt. It was sleeting. It was cold, miserable night. 2-0, bad center snap, and it was a safety.
That's got to be the only game in football history that ended 2-0.
It's the only one I've ever seen.
Errant throw out in front of Williams. He can not haul that in one-handed, and good thing for Eldon, a lot of room out there. So falls incomplete, going to bring up 2nd down and 10.
The linemen were downfield blocking as the pass was legally thrown behind the line of scrimmage to the receiver, still behind the line of scrimmage. Wow, Camdenton 0-4.
Yeah, hard to figure. I don't know if, not since I've been covering high school football, and we talked about those stretches, right? You're up and you're down. Camdenton not had a lot of down. It's Drake Williams. Full head of steam. He has a solid gain on 2nd down and 10.
So Williams having a good second half, had that 57-yard touchdown run. Did he get a first down there? Yeah.
Yeah, Beck Wellness sent a first down. They give him 10 yards, and he moves it to midfield. And so quick, right? Like right there. You could have stepped out for a 6 or 7 yard gain, but he knows. Get lateral, get those extra 3 yards, and fresh set of downs for the Indians. They have it at midfield now.
Good block there, but I'm not sure I had the right number, so I'm just going to have to let it go, I guess.
So 1st down and 10. It's going to be a little play action here. Rolling, and look out. Maverick Trusty goes down. It's a QB sack on the play. And that is Bryce Brenzen, the senior. That's a big loss all the way back to the 40. Going to bring up 2nd down and 20.
Yeah, Trusty didn't read the block here very well. It looked to me like he could have continued to the outside. Arrowwood and hold his man, but Berenson just fought through it. What a good effort there by the senior for the Eldon Mustangs.
So they get those 10 yards on the Drake Williams run, and they give it right back on the sack. So 2nd down and 20, and here's Williams. Cuts back, nice little piece of running, and Drake Williams across the 45 down to the 43-yard line. How about a 17-yard run on 2nd down and 20?
Yeah, Williams has got his mojo going a little bit. He's been bottled up the first 3 games, but he's got it going now. You get he and Trusty both going at the center, excuse me, he and Arrowwood both going, running the ball at the same time. I think the offensive line for Osage is really kind of starting to take over here a little bit. Some good series of blocks in there. 66, Landon Robbins, among others.
Handoff to Arrowwood, who's able to cut back, but not a lot. Now a penalty flag flies as we're approaching the 1 minute mark here in the 3rd quarter. So we told you Versailles was down big. We told you Camdenton was down big. But the bright side, Mike, 2 of our local teams are playing tonight. Right. So one of our local teams will get a win.
Apparently this foul is going to go against Osage.
Holding against the Indians.
So flag thrown a yard behind the line of scrimmage, so they'll move it back 10.
They declined it to bring up 4th down and 3.
Okay, so a 1-yard gain.
But I don't know if, honestly, even though you love the down, 4th and 3 from the 43, I'm not sure Osage is punting, Mike.
I don't think so. No wind the clock. Trusty goes over to the sideline to get the call directly from Coach Jolly.
Yeah, I can't stop watching number 16 down here. 10 yards of separation. And they're going to go that way. Cuts back in, and Hunter Schreiman, he gets laid out.
Oh, man.
Bounces right back up. It's a Beck Wellness Center 1st down, and you're going to have targeting on the play.
Yeah,
he got waylaid.
Yeah, led with his helmet. Well, Joe Reed.
I'm not so sure he did, though. Did he?
Well, I don't know if it's targeting. You just.
Oh, yeah, he sure did.
So that would have been a first down anyway, but that'll tack on 15.
Look at this. Boom! Oh, man, that is tough. But I'll tell you what's even tougher is number 16, Hunter Schreiman, bouncing right up. Says, I got the first down, got over 100 yards. I've got 2 scores. And so after they tack on the penalty yardage, it's going to put Osage all the way down to the 23-yard line, Mike.
Yeah, 15-yarder there. Yeah, you got to call that. I mean, there was no intent. It'd have been a great play if he'd have led with his shoulder, but can't make contact with the helmet first.
So 1st and 10 at the 23-yard line. Rolling out to his right. Now they're doing a little up and under to Schreiman. He's got him, and it is hauled in for the score for the 3rd time tonight. Uno, dos, tres. Hunter Schreiman has done it again. And how about the ball on the up and under, Mike, from Maverick Trusty?
Yeah, didn't show that last week at all, and just lobbed it up there once he saw that Schreiman had his man beaten. That puts him, well, I can give you the number, 129 yards on 8 catches here in this game and 3 touchdowns.
That is his 5th receiving touchdown on the early season, and we are just in week 4, Mike. So
yeah, we've got, except for the extra point, the same scores we had last week.
And the extra point is up, and it is good. So with 43 seconds left in the 3rd quarter, it is all Osage. Back here on Lake TV, and Mike, it has been a onslaught of Hunter Schreiman and Maverick Trusty tonight. And even though they lost last week, we talked about it. 6 or 7 catches a week ago, and he has kept that going tonight.
Got 8 tonight.
Wow. 15 catches over the last 2 weeks.
For 129 yards.
Pretty special performance, but again, just an amazing throw from Maverick Trusty. Brady Clark, the kick. It's a short one, fielded with a full head of steam at the 28-yard line. Nice return here for the Mustangs up to about the 45-yard line before being swung out. And that is number 7, Chase Atkinson, with the nice return.
Chase had a touchdown, I believe, earlier in the game. So Eldon will have the ball for the final 37 seconds here of the 3rd quarter. Again, you just got to try to find some positives. Drew Hines will run the offense here. I'd like to see them just try some quick throws. And they've left the slot man wide open here.
Yeah, just daring him to throw it. Everyone's going deep, though. Here they go, taking a shot. Nice job by Osage. It was overthrown, but as you noticed, Robert Dubbs was step for step with the receiver. And I think for Osage, they're saying, hey, we're not going to let you beat us over the top, but if you want that shallow stuff, I think it's there, Mike.
Yeah, well, it certainly was. They go continuous clock, so it's going to run the quarter out, Wayne.
So at the end of 3 quarters, Osage out in front big by a score, 43-6 over the Eldon Mustangs.
At COMC, your health is our mission. Central Ozarks Medical Center offers 3 OBGYNs at the Osage Beach Clinic and 2 pediatricians with same-day appointments available. At COMC, our doors are open to everyone with 5 primary care locations conveniently located across the Ozarks. COMC for the best medical, dental, and behavioral health care. Get more info on how COMC can help you at centralozarks.org. COMC, where your health is our mission.
Hey everybody, it's Daryl Cunningham with Slumberland Furniture at the Lake. Football season's back. What's that mean for you? You've got to have a comfy place to sit, whether it's Sundays, Mondays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, whatever day you like to watch football, we've got a chair that's going to make it comfortable. All at a great price and interest-free financing. And don't forget, we deliver the entire lake area. Come see us at Slumberland Furniture, where we're bringing happy home.
Back here on Lake TV, your game of the week, the Eldon Mustangs and Osage Indians. And after putting it on them last year, 42-13, Osage all over them again tonight as DeLong gets the second down carry and has good yards, about 5. Going to bring up 3rd down and 5.
So DeLong, that's his first touch since that 72-yard. We got an official timeout. Players shaking up.
Yeah, it's DeLong.
I think
slow to get up.
I think he just needs to catch his breath. I'm hoping that's it. Yeah,
we were just talking about it. Aren't these kids so tough?
Wow.
This is such a violent game, right? And you see, you know, you're running full speed, you're colliding, and man, these kids are tough. I get my joints, it starts aching is all I'm saying when I see these guys take these shots, and it's impressive. They keep bouncing right back up, and I'm just going to say they're tougher than I am, Mike. How's that?
No, you've got to be, and it's a sport that's not for everybody, that's for sure. Some kids love the contact, some don't like it at all. There was a lineman came out there too.
Yeah, Joe Reed looks to be shaken up a little bit. So 3rd down and 5, 11:20 mark left in this one. Hines calls his own number and runs into a wall. Does have about 4. Going to bring up 4th down and 1 for Eldon.
Jaden Wilkes, among others. Just a little hesitation, then saw a gap and accelerated. Hines gets 4 there. I don't think there's any doubt that they're going for it on 4th down. He comes to the sideline to get a call.
Isn't that always weird when it's common in high school, right? But the quarterback runs to the sideline, then runs back out to the huddle to give the play, and then half the time is running for his life from the defenders. It's like,
better be in shape.
That's right. All right, 4th down and short. A lot of room on the edge. Instead, they're going to keep it on the ground. A little shovel pass on the option, and it's a good one. And look out. All the way inside the 10 to the house for the score. Bryce Brenzen, the senior, from 46 yards out, and they needed that one, Mike.
Yeah, Berenson has really showed out there. But when we watch this replay, I'm not sure which lineman it was, but he recognized, I don't know if they called an audible or not, but one of the linemen just before that saw the blitz was coming up the middle, and Berenson, they did a quick toss, and there just wasn't anybody out there. Good influence blocks. Berenson's first carry. What'd you say, 46 there?
Yes, sir. It was a great effort by Robert Dubbs, the last line of defense. He couldn't get him, but he sure laid out. And Eldon now looking to cut it to a 30-point game, maybe even 29. They're going to try the 2-point conversion here. That was a great run, though. Something to build on, and if you're Eldon, you needed that. Here's the 2-point attempt. Hines calls his own number, trying to get up the middle, and I'm not so sure. Stopped short. Hole closes quickly, so the 2-point conversion is no good in your score. With 10:21 left in the game, Osage 43, the Mustangs 12.
It's time for a new home, and your solution is Ozark Homes under the water tower in Lori. Your home is and should be your safe place. At Ozark Homes, we take your dream and make it a reality while staying within your budget. With real estate and construction prices at an all-time high, let Ozark Homes stretch your dollar. We have many customizable options, including kitchens, bathrooms, fireplaces. We even offer a second-level option. Quotes are always free, so give us a call or stop by today. Ozark Homes, making homeowners' dreams a reality for over 30 years.
It's the Lake Expo app, the lake's trusted news source. the boating lifestyle, the hottest lakefront real estate, where to go, what to see, and what to do at the lake. It's the Lake Expo app. Download it today.
Back here on Lake TV, where Eldon says, hey, we got some fight in us. A nice drive for them. They come down and score. It's a 46-yard touchdown run. And it's Bryce Berenson, the senior, Mike, and he's had a nice game. I know that.
Berenson.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, every time you say it, I'm like, I'm not so sure that's how I just said it. Berenson.
Just leave him the D out. That's fine. That's a very common name.
I'm going to call him BB.
Okay, it's a very common name around here, Eldon.
I should know it. I got friends with that last name.
Okay.
All right, 10:21 left here in the fourth, and Eldon set to kick. It's a good one, fielded by Drake Williams at the 12. A lot of room up the middle, now trying to get outside. He does, keeps his head down, and then fights his way up to the 38-yard line. Pretty solid return, and Osage has it first down and 10, right about the 40-yard line.
Yeah, it was a pretty solid effort considering they're leading by 31 points here. You got to admire these kids that just keep grinding even though when the score's a little bit out of hand here in the fourth quarter, keep playing the game.
But I'm a numbers guy, right? Like, especially now more than ever before around football, these kids know fantasy football. They have their favorite players. And so those catches, those yards, like at the end of the year, if you're sitting at 49 catches, you're like, why did I not lay out and get that 50th catch week 3 in that blowout, right? Here's Drake Williams. Cuts back. Look out. Cut back across, and here he goes inside the 40. He's got to be well over 100 at this point in time. He's down to the 38-yard line. We'll give him 23 and a Beck Wellness Center first down.
Well, I can add it up here for you. In the second half, he's got 108 in the second half to go with the 33 he had in the first half.
Yeah, it's great to see for Osage and Drake Williams. As we've said numerous times, a slower start for him, right? And I don't know if that's teams are zeroing in on him, knowing, or if he's not getting the same amount of opportunities. But great ball game for both him and Arrowwood tonight. And here is Arrowwood on the carry. Up the middle, another solid gain. We'll give him 6, maybe 7.
Well, Versailles down in their game as they close in on the end of that contest. So they're going to drop to 0-4, losing as they are at home tonight, I believe.
Camdenton did get off the shutout. Looks like they scored. However, our friend Alicia Machino said they got their freshman in at this point. It's a really good Elias team, Mike. And look at that conference, that district. That's tough.
They've been on a roll. A busted play here. Look out.
Here's Maverick Trusty trying to make something out of nothing. Cuts back across and has good yardage, but penalty flags fly. We have 2 of them at the 33-yard line.
Holding.
So we have a final in Elias. Your final score, 56-6. So Camdenton, they were down 56-0 at the half, and no more points allowed. But at 0-4, that schedule for them is tough down the stretch. And I even hate to bring it up, but is there a possibility, Mike, you could be looking at a Camdenton team and not only a losing season, but I looked at their schedule. I don't know if there's a game on there they feel real confident going into.
I think Battle's down this year, but then to get spanked by Smith Cotton like that, I don't know. It's tough. I mean, that hasn't happened in a long time.
And we do know Coach Parpitz and his Lakers staff, great coaches. Just be interesting to see what they do. We'll be in Camdenton next week as little bootleg, and Trusty takes a shot. He gets sandwiched between 2 Eldon Mustangs and paid the price for it. So 3rd down and long upcoming. And I know you're up 31 points at this point in time, but 3rd and long, you dare take one more shot for Hunter Schreiman?
Oh, I would think so. Why not? You're playing Eldon. You don't care about running the score up, I don't think. So.
I wouldn't think if there's a game that sportsmanship may not be as important. This is a game where they're like, no, bury him. Bury him.
But I've seen a lot of going both ways, helping some kid up and patting him on the back as they go by, so who knows?
No, these kids love each other. You said a lot of them work together. So 3rd down and long. There's a shot. Oh, and it was a good throw put in a dangerous spot. Colt Butler almost brought that down. was a good throw, but a lot of traffic around Butler.
Yeah, his timing was good, but right in traffic. And what happens when you've got two receivers in the same spot? It does draw a crowd. I'm not sure. Well, Ethan Wall was there as well.
Did you see the arm strength by Trusty? He just like barely flicked his wrist across his body, and 15 yards on a dime. It's Butler. I mean, I can't say enough about Maverick Trusty. He came in 3 years ago as a sophomore, and they were not a passing team. As a matter of fact, he completed like 50% of his passes as a sophomore. And
William, I think they're going for it here.
There they go, 4th down and 14. Trusty stands in there, back shoulder, looking for Schreiman. A nice defensive play, broken up. Damian Fisher, the senior, says no sir-ee. That's been his target all night, Hunter Schreiman, and I think they knew what was coming.
Took it right to the yard marker, the line to gain, and just posted right there. He took a bit of a chance just as a defender, stopping right there on that yard marker.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a wobbler, but great job coming in by Fisher, knocking it down. So Eldon now gets the stop and has it back to their offense with 7:57 left, trailing by 31. Hines calls his own number on the keeper. And a hard hit, and the ball is out. I think Osage may have it. It would be the 3rd turnover for the Mustangs tonight.
No official indication as of yet. Osage thinks it's their ball, but that's...
No, the official shaking his head. They're going to talk about it, so we'll wait for the indication. Oh, yeah, definitely
out. Ball's out, no doubt about that.
So I think Eldon catches a huge break.
Yep, so they'll say it stays with the Eldon Mustangs.
We have the luxury of the instant replay thanks to Lake Expo Real Estate. But last week we saw it, right, on Drake Williams' fumble recovery. I watched it. I don't know if you went back and saw it, but, I mean, it was never close to getting to the end zone. It was on the inside, like, leg of him. Got hit at the 1, and it popped out at the 1.5, and that was not the best break for Osage. So here's the carry. 2nd down and blown up. Osage continues to just hit the gaps. I mean, they have been in the backfield of the Eldon ball carriers all night long.
And again, trouble with the center snap, which just destroys the timing of the play. 3-yard loss there for DeLong.
And I'm telling you, for these coaches of these schools, I mean, when you start looking at district standings and stuff, the points scored and allowed, they matter. Right. But there's something else at play here.
Up to 13.
Right, but there's something else at play. You're well over that 13-point difference. But for Osage, they don't want Eldon to score more than 12 points. They want to keep them below that. They would not be happy, Coach Shannon Jolly, if Eldon found a way to get one more touchdown here. So there's a lot of pride in play here the last 7 minutes. Pocket starts to close.
Oh, that's got to be interference.
Wilkes,
got to be interference.
Throws down the running back. It was a screen play that was designed. Wilkes was all over it, and instead of just waiting for the guy to catch it and blow it up.
He wasn't going anywhere.
No.
He was actually running away from the line of scrimmage to come back and try to catch this ball. Of course, when you're getting pushed in the back, that makes a big difference, too. That was Hammond once again. But they're waving that off? Really?
Does the ball have to get past the line of scrimmage for pass interference to take place? Because it did not get back to the line of scrimmage. I will say that.
I don't see where that would make a difference.
But
apparently it does. I don't know.
So 4th down and 13. Hines now steps back. Ooh, nearly blocked. Punt at the 20, and Schreiman going to pick it up inside the 20 and had a hard time getting the handle, so very wisely just falls on it, and Osage takes over right there at their own 17-yard line. 1st down and 10. The clock sits at 6:19, and even though it's a 31-point game, it wouldn't be running clock unless it's 35, huh?
35 points, correct. We do have a final in Versailles and El Dorado Springs, 50-6. Versailles goes to 0-4.
Similar, as we said, with Elias and Camdenton, 56-6 with Camdenton falling to 0-4. Of course, we'll have them next week with Columbia Battle coming into Camdenton, and it's always fun for homecoming, right?
Yeah, Battle Spartans. I think that's what they are, isn't it? Right?
It is.
Sounds right.
In their first year as a program in 2014, you and I called a district championship game as Brock Arrowwood adds to his impressive night up to the 33-yard line. We're going to give him 15 yards and a Beck Wellness Center first down.
Yeah, and a missed call by the officials really turned that game around. There was a rollout to the left, and they were going to throw it to a running back who was behind the line of scrimmage. The linemen were all downfield blocking, which was legal, but the quarterback had to give up a bunch of ground because of pressure by the Camdenton defense, and the running back got above the line of scrimmage. They threw the ball to him. He caught it. Linemen are 15 yards downfield. Shouldn't have counted. It went for a touchdown.
And if you remember, that Justin Conyers led team went on to win the state championship that year. And here's Arrowwood again inside the 50. He's keeping those legs moving. Tough run all the way down to the 49-yard line. Wow.
About 17 yards on the pickup gets him into Eldon territory.
Another Beck Wellness Center first down. And if you remember, Justin Conyers, who was Battle's coach, they won 2 state championships in his time there. He was at Hallsville for the last 5 or 6 years, and now I believe he's with Hickman, the Cupies.
Yeah, and he's turned them around too. He really, I enjoyed talking to him. We always scheduled Hallsville. It just worked out the way back when I was in radio. I enjoyed talking to him. He liked it up in Hallsville.
Yeah, he was a great coach and really good football mind as Arrowwood keeps the impressive night going. He has another 7, and it's the Brock Arrowwood show on this drive.
And that's it for the starters. So we'll see a lot of clean jerseys out there right now as we're under 5 minutes left in the game.
Yeah, and for Osage, Mike, an impressive showing for them. Of course, last week with the Blair Oaks game, you knew that was going to be a challenge, but to come back and bounce back in this fashion, that's got to feel good because for Osage, they don't want last week to be what people believe about them for as good as Blair Oaks is. They wanted to make a statement tonight, and they certainly have.
Sperling is now the quarterback. Big hole.
Nice run on the first down carry all the way inside the 25 down to about the 23.
Herring.
It's a Beck Wellness Center first down, a 20-yard gain. And yeah, you said it. That is Christian Herring, the junior, with the run.
Oh, that was impressive. Kids come off the bench and a 5-foot wide hole there for Herring to run through, and he finished it well.
Hey, I want to touch on last week. You see in there, right, Blaine Sperling. He's only a sophomore, but he comes in last week at the end of the game, and in his first varsity pass attempt in a losing effort was a 25-yard strike across his body to Drake Williams.
Yeah.
Pretty cool moment there. So on 1st and 10, Sperling. The give once again to Herring. Herring all the way down inside the 5. They mark him right there at the 4-yard line, Mike. That's an 18-yard run. And how about Herring? 2 carries, 38 yards.
First and goal? No, they say it's out. No, it's got to be first and goal, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Clock is wound.
So first and goal from the 5. You got to give it back to him, right? 2 runs.
I would think so. I mean, you would run his average a little bit because he can only go 5 yards before he scores. But
now this is something that's so promising for this Osage team because when you see a rare opportunity to get these younger kids, they got some playmakers. Their middle school team is yet to lose a game the last 2 years, and their Pee-wee team is right up there as well. So here's the first down carry. Just stuff is Herring close to the end zone. He's down at the 1. We'll give him 4 yards.
What a block by the right tackle, Lee Nathan, a senior, by the way. 71, he's getting in the game. He's getting his money's worth there. What 71 drive his guy? Keep going till you hear that whistle, son. Oh, check that was 74. 74. That's going to be Jackson Beiser.
That's a great block. And agreed. You don't hear the whistle? Keep driving. That's exactly what he did. 2nd down and goal inside. 3 minutes to play here. Don't go anywhere following the end of tonight's game. It's our Van Subaru post-game show. Sperling under center. He's going to call his own number into the end zone for the score, and for the first time in his varsity career, the sophomore Blaine Sperling into the end zone for a score. With 2:30 left, the sophomore gets into the stat sheet in the best way possible. He finds the end zone. Mike, special moment for the sophomore.
Yeah, that's one he'll remember for a long, long time. Good push again by this offensive line. Second stringers, they just kept working it. Everybody wanted to put their hands up, but they had to wait because the play took a while to develop. Here's the extra point up and good. Looks
the extra point is up, and it is true. So with 2.5 minutes left to go in this one, Osage out in front, 50-12. What's up, Lake of the Ozarks? It's your guy, William Holtz, inviting you to tune in to our next LOZ featured doc series. I'm at the 20.5-mile marker to meet up with the Drickey family. They got an incredible boat collection, some custom features on a mega dock at the lake you don't want to miss.
Don't forget to tune in to this month's edition of the Monthly Market Update. I'm Jessica Bruce with the Bruce & Kelly Real Estate Team, where we'll be touring this month this gorgeous home located right on the waterfront here in Sunrise Beach. We're also going to meet up with Stacy Pirtle, one of the members of Community Foundation here at the lake, talk about what they do and some upcoming awesome events they have. And we are going to meet the newest owner of Doug Wright Powerboats, Justin Wagner, and we may even get to go out on a new 40-foot cat. All that and more on this month's edition.
And we're back as we conclude tonight's game of the week. Just 2.5 minutes left, and then our Van Subaru post-game show. And Mike, from the onset of this one, Osage got the opening kickoff, marched right down the field, 3.5 minutes off the clock, and they scored. And since that moment, they've really controlled this game, and they're going to improve to 3-1 and be real happy. Short drive back to Kaiser. Kickoff fielded at about the 30.
Oh, that ball. I thought that ball came out for a second. Big hit there on special teams by Sean Crooks.
Yeah, how about that? That was nice. We've seen some big hits tonight, man.
Yeah, and I would have to say that Osage will take over the #1 spot in the district seeding. Again, there's only 7 teams in the district, so the 1 seed will get a first-round bye. Get to heal up an extra week and then take on somebody in the semifinals. That's the only downside about the bye there, I think, is you get somebody in the semifinals instead of an 8 seed.
Ethan Bennett checks in at quarterback for Eldon, and J.C. Moyeda in there. That's a busted play and taken down. Tackle for a loss. Colton Nutt with the TFL. The senior gets in there. A solid play for him, and 4-yard loss.
Who was the loss on there?
The run on the play was number 10 for Eldon.
Jace
Moyeda.
Moyeda.
Well, take your word for it.
Well, I was told, we talked about this, and I was told, he goes, well, he's a JV guy. He won't play. And I go, yeah, but you never know.
You do, and never know. And on his first carry, goes for a loss. Inside. A minute to play nearly here. 2nd down and long. Ethan Bennett takes the snap, handoff, and again, right into the defender, and a violent tackle on the play.
I think young Mr. Herring wants to play more. He's doing it on both sides.
Is that him that made that stop?
Herring made that tackle.
Wow. Yeah, Christian Herring, the junior, says, put me in, coach, I'm ready. Goes for a loss, and no shot for the running back. He was right there in the backfield, almost like the play was designed to go into the arms of the defender.
And we may not have, they got to run one more play here.
So after this, we'll take a commercial break, and we'll be back with Mike here in the booth as part of our Van Subaru post-game show. Be back here in just a moment as we're going to conclude here, and that's another busted play in the backfield. Osage all over it, and so that'll be your final play. Your score from Victor Field in Eldon. The Osage Indians defeat the Mustangs by a final score of 50-12. We'll be back on Lake TV with your post-game show brought to you by Van Subaru.
The Dog Days of Summer Savings Event and the Subaru A Lot to Love event are going on now at Van Subaru. Save more with every mile at Kansas City's Subaru destination. Get 0% APR for 60 months when you upgrade to a new 2025 Subaru Crosstrek or a new 2025 Subaru Outback with 0 down payment needed and no payments for 60 days. Shop now at vansubaru.com, where you save more with every mile.
Competing on the field requires hard work.
It also requires effort and making good choices, which carries over off the field.
Like good choices behind the wheel of your car. Did you know that a driver is 20 times more likely to be in a serious accident if texting and driving?
Last year alone, 104 people were killed in Missouri from distracted driving. So keep leading the statistics, but don't become one.
Buckle up, phones down.
This Drive Safe, Boat Safe reminder brought to you by Price & Randall, injury attorneys.
Hey everybody, it's Daryl Cunningham with Slumberland Furniture at the Lake. Football season's back. What's that mean for you? You've got to have a comfy place to sit, whether it's Sundays, Mondays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, whatever day you like to watch football, we've got a chair that's going to make it comfortable. All at a great price and interest-free financing. And don't forget, we deliver the entire lake area. Come see us at Slumberland Furniture, where we're bringing happy home.
At Beck Wellness, we always say that if you don't make time for your wellness, you'll be forced to make time for your illness. Our goal is to make sure you're ready to enjoy all the lake has to offer, and more importantly, that you don't miss out on the moments that matter the most. From neuropathy, problems with your feet, hip, or back pain, and even a spinal tune-up. I'll make sure you're set to enjoy the moments that matter the most. I'm Dr. Mark Beck, inviting you to stop by for a consultation. But for now, back to this live high school game of the week on Lake TV.
At New Spring Wellness Center, we understand how hectic life can be and the stress that comes with it. We also understand that your health often gets forgotten about. Whether it's addiction, weight loss, or lack of energy, New Spring Wellness Center offers natural services you won't find other places. From our vitamin IV drips to our laser hair removal and everything else. Naturally better health is our focus at New Spring Wellness Center in Osage Beach. Call now to schedule your free consultation.
So what are you in for? I had a few beers and I decided to drive. You? I stopped at a green light. I was high.
Dude, you can't be drunk or high while driving. Yeah, that's illegal. Even just slightly buzzed or high decreases your reaction time by at least 50%. What? It does.
Well, what did you guys do?
Us, we robbed the house.
Be a good guy. Don't drive drunk or high.
Back on our Van Subaru post-game show, and I'm on the field. Osage head coach Shannon Jolly and 50-12 coach. Pretty complete victory for your team tonight.
Yeah, we had a couple holes, but I mean, I thought we played pretty well. And so, no, it's a good kind of a bounce back from last week, and we're proud of our kids.
Got to say, I saw it last week, and I've known Hunter Strymon the last 3 years and what he can do on the football field. But him and Maverick really had a nice night tonight.
Yeah, we had a good look. I think we had an advantage with the look that gave us the matchup with him. So, you know, it's something you don't want to go to all the time in a game like this. But no, they've got a good chemistry. But, you know, they've been working on that stuff. We've been throwing the ball a lot the last 2 summers and kind of making sure that area was picked up. So it makes it a little bit better for us to be balanced.
Coach, coming into this game, Eldon felt like they had the advantage and the trenches, the point of attack. But that was not the case tonight. Talk about how your team really dominated up front.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I have to look at the film. I'm not so sure we dominated up front. I thought their kids played really hard. They've got some good interior guys, and I think they gave us a little bit of trouble, probably more than maybe we thought they would. And so hats off to them. And like I said, I don't know if we dominated. I think they got tired and we got on top a little bit. But I think pound for pound, I thought they did a really good job inside and holding their own.
So, Coach, how long do you allow your team to enjoy this win, celebrate this win before you go right back to work for next week?
I don't know, bus ride home. I mean, you know, we got a lot of stuff to do. There's still stuff everybody don't see on the sideline. There's still some things we got to clean up and do, but these are high school kids. They're learning, and the cool part is learning during the game. Like, game situations help make you better because that's the only way to work on them is by going through them. So games are super important.
Coach, last thing I'll ask you, your rushing attack. It's been a lot of Brock Arrowwood so far this year, but tonight both Brock and Drake both got going and had over 100 yards. Talk about what that running game means to this team.
I just think it's what people are going to do to us. I mean, Eldon definitely schemed defensively to make sure that they were kind of shut down some of our bread and butter stuff, and hats off to them. I think they did a good job. But then late in the game, like I said again, I think we just kind of wore them down. And then some of the running games that probably looked a little bit better than maybe what it was is due to a little bit of fatigue and stuff like that. But much respect.
Coach, hey, congratulations on the win, and as always, thanks for your time. We'll take a break. We'll be back with our Show Me Zero Player of the Game.
The Dog Days of Summer Savings Event and the Subaru A Lot to Love event are going on now at Van Subaru. Save more with every mile at Kansas City's Subaru destination. Get 0% APR for 60 months when you upgrade to a new 2025 Subaru Crosstrek or a new 2025 Subaru Outback with 0 down payment needed and no payments for 60 days. Shop now at vansubaru.com where you save more with every mile.
Hey everybody, it's Daryl Cunningham with Slumberland Furniture at the Lake. Football season's back. What's that mean for you? You've got to have a comfy place to sit, whether it's Sundays, Mondays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, whatever day you like to watch football, we've got a chair that's going to make it comfortable. All at a great price and interest-free financing. And don't forget, we deliver the entire lake area. Come see us at Slumberland Furniture, where we're bringing happy home.
Back here on the field, it's your Van.
Right. School of the Osage gets the win here by a score of 50-12. Both teams now at 3-1. Let's take a look at the final numbers for Chan and Jolly's School of the Osage Indians. Butler had 1 carry, -4 yards. Trusty, a couple of quarterback sacks, 2 for -22. Then we get into the positive numbers. Williams had a big second half, over 100 yards rushing for the game, 11 carries, 141. Arrowwood, 20 for 123. Herring, they're late, 3 for 42. And Sperling got the touchdown run, the 4-yard run, his first of his career. 284 yards rushing for the passing stats for the night. It's 9 of 17 for Trusty. Most of that coming in the first half in a positive fashion. It's only 3 of 8 in the second half. But the catches went to Schreiman, 8 for 129. Williams had 1 for 7, 136 total. That gives them 430 yards of offense from scrimmage in the ball game. Penalties, 3 for 25. But no turnovers for Osage. Huge difference in the game as Eldon turned it over twice. Hines had 15 carries for 76 yards. DeLong had that long 72-yard run, 8 for 91 total. Brisman had 9 for 28. Hammond had a touchdown and 4 for 20. Berenson had a touchdown and 1 for 46. And Moeda had 2 carries that are late. Cleanup time -7 yards. 244 yards rushing for Eldon on 39 attempts. So, and they had no passing yards, as it turns out, in the ball game. Didn't even attempt a pass that was counted in the second half. So 244 from scrimmage, but 2 interceptions both in the first half and 3 penalties for 35. Versailles loses to El Dorado Springs. Big in that game was 50-6, and Camdenton lost to Helias tonight. So they're both 0-4. But both these teams, Eldon and School of the Osage, go to 3-1. We'll come back in a moment, and William will wrap things up here on Lake TV.
Back here on the field at Victor Field in Eldon, where we wrap up tonight's game of the week. Of course, Osage handling business. They win by a final score of 50-12. We're going to be back on Lake TV next Friday night, where we'll be back in Camdenton at the Jaws of Death, where Columbia Battle comes in for Camdenton Lakers homecoming night. Of course, in regards to tonight for the Osage win, we got to give you a player of the game, and the guys were so eager to get back into the locker room. We didn't get to talk to him, but how could you go with anyone else but Hunter Schreiman? Unofficially about 7 or 9 catches, 135 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Uno, dos, tres, an unbelievable night, and it's why he's your Show Me Zero player of the game. This player of the game brought to you by the Missouri Coalition for Roadway Safety, reminding you to put your phones down, buckle up, slow down, and drive sober. These simple decisions will help save lives on Missouri roadways. As we sign off from Victor Field in Eldon, Missouri, where the Osage Indians take care of business, for the entire Lake TV crew, I'm William Holtz. Until next weekend, my friends, good night and God bless.
So what are you in for? I had a few beers and I decided to drive. You? I stopped at a green light. I was high. Dude, you can't be drunk or high while driving.
Yeah, that's illegal. Even just slightly buzzed or high decreases your reaction time by at least 50%. What? It does.
Well, what did you guys do?
Us, we robbed the house.
Be a good guy. Don't drive drunk or high.